What's you giggling about there, Krista?
I don't know what I thought this was gonna be. Sometimes YouTube just recommends weird stuff to me. I'll put it in the chat. I was closing out my tabs. I was like, well, I have to know what that is. It's only 1 second. And I don't know what sound I expected, but it wasn't that.
Well,
It's stupid, but it made me laugh.
that's a pretty clever 7 million views.
Oh, I love it when the sun is at this angle because you can see how ridiculous the running algorithm is.
Oh yeah, say your shadow looks like it's like me trying to run in gym class in middle school.
I mean, look at the double jump animation. It's just like,
Nubbin, thank you for subscribing.
oh, Nubbin, thanks. All right, let's see what kind of jobs we got going on. Oh yeah, I gotta go do that. Oh, I gotta do that too. That's fun. We're gonna have some on-screen sex in this stream, I think.
Oh no.
So excited. Can it be same sex, maybe?
No, nothing taboo, unfortunately.
Did you install the mod where you do the deed with Keanu Reeves?
They banned it, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure somebody's trying to work around that.
You know how I'm always trying doors and all the doors are locked, and then I'm like, that's weird, all the doors in this city are locked. I found some doors that weren't locked, and they open into falling through the map.
Oh.
Tastes like tofu, just subscribed. Yeah, so it's a door like this, and you run up to it, and you open it, and then you just fall through the map. It's glorious. They did not fix that kind of thing in the last update, so this is 1.11, so it's like a big update, and then a little update to fix things that the big update broke. So
I was thinking about what I don't like about this game, and I think it really is. It feels like the NPCs just like everything feels like there's just a facade around you, and as soon as you leave that area, like it ceases to exist anymore. Like the NPCs don't have lives outside of you.
Krista, you've never played this game.
I've watched hours of it now.
And there was a little bit of pain in that, Krista, when you said hours. I can hear the winds in your voice from here.
I mean, I've watched it even like when we're not doing this though. Like I watched other people play it because I was interested. Maybe I would like it, but I just don't think so.
I think you can make that call, Krista.
Oh, everyone's asking about the hot new events for season whatever we're on now.
I can't see. This is the problem with it, chat. It's going to be so fickle, and everybody's going to try and start their own movement because the only way you win is to get in at the bottom. And I think we're just going to see a bunch of rapidly shifting, directionless, like the Dogecoin thing, and then it'll just sort of turn into vapor.
We have been waiting. My contact? Someone finally gonna tell me about this job? I'm just a man in the middle. You will learn more.
If I gift subs, can we start a new blockchain? You'll have to gift a lot of subs. And then at that volume of gift subs, why give any of that money to Jeff Bezos?
Ask for Placide. He will tell you the details.
Now, the last time I played this, I really felt like I was messing up the mission because I wasn't telling them the stuff that they wanted to hear, and I also sided with the Netrunner guy because he's like, "Hey, I don't really care about, whatever," and what is that? And then it turned out that guy like killed everybody. So if I could avoid that this time, that'd be nice.
Did you see that Cookie Monster geode somebody found?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
It looks a lot like Cookie Monster. You have to admit.
Oh, this is like a deli. That's nice.
I would say it's a bodega.
It's definitely a bodega.
Wow.
This is not the type of bodega that I would expect to get fresh, high-quality meat from.
I thought that there was like very little meat in this universe, right?
Well, there's bugs, definitely. They're definitely eating bugs.
What do you want me to do?
C'est vous-même. Continuez. L'acide, gardez-la.
Oh, it's another malfunction. Wish I could get some like McAfee antivirus or something.
But does that ever actually impact the gameplay, or is it just annoying the whole time?
It's just annoying the whole time to remind you that you're dying. I mean, do you really need to be reminded that you're dying? I mean, I think about that every day.
Well, yeah, maybe I do need to be reminded that I'm dying because I spent the last 45 minutes collecting things.
Want to talk to your boss?
I just wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, another fun-filled day of collecting things. Maybe I can take some food apart into batteries and shotgun parts.
Yeah. Let me spend 25 minutes sorting these guns.
I want to talk to Brigitte.
But they send you to me.
Oh, the
Oh,
chicken
wait, this
just
guy's
spawned.
still alive? You're early. This is early in the game.
Yeah.
Is this a third playthrough?
No, this is my second playthrough.
Yes,
I've
but
had
not here. Follow
I've had a
me.
lot of distractions. I haven't been able to make very much progress.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Still holding out for Baycoin?
This way.
Well, you know, there might become a time when bacon is a valuable commodity unto itself.
I was helping my mom clean out her fridge yesterday, the day before, and she had some bacon that expired in 2019. She was like, "No, bacon doesn't ever go bad," and I was like, "I don't think that's true."
Welcome mat for outsiders.
You know, I keep forgetting to buy bacon. I want to try air fryer bacon.
Burn their headies.
Oh yeah, I bet that'd be good.
It is good.
They
It's
cut
delicious.
their sheep, they spit their cash back out.
Man,
All their toys here are
you would have pulled that bacon out of the fridge and it's like, wow, it's bacon from the before time. This was bought without a mask.
This is now in the GIM, the Grand Imperial Mon. Pacifica's biggest,
See, like,
ugliest temple to
I mean, it's like, okay, see, there's something that's blowing up over there.
until last
Like,
week.
what's going on over there?
Empty.
I thought that was just like
The
the
animals
steam and
brought
pollution of the city.
made a
No,
mess.
like that car or that helicopter over there, it just blew something up. And it's
Oh.
like, oh, is
Oh,
that
okay.
is that foreshadowing? Is there like something interesting that's gonna happen with that? Because like, see, hotel is like all blown up and weird over there, and this is like this is Pacifica. And it's like, you know, Pacifica is still Pacifica, and it's like, oh yeah, that building is kind of in ruins with like the hotel. I
Wait,
bet
can you
there's-
not go over there and look?
No,
Oh.
at least I don't think I can. Chat. Is there something?
You-
Is there some kind of a thing? Because like,
What is this?
you know,
You can't go over there?
no. I mean,
It's open world. This is an open world game.
yeah, but like it's not part of the story. Like you can't get over there. You can't really get up there because I was like trying to parkour up there and do some stuff, and you can't.
Lovely. Tant pis. Já joué toujours bien dans yon pod.
Just gang warfare? Yeah, there is shit going down constantly in the city. Why aren't you playing Parkitect? Oh yeah, we keep forgetting. I think we're gonna do multiplayer RimWorld next.
Chat's gonna be excited for that.
Oh, pas de besoin. Il y a l'autre qui gagne les plus mal.
Peut-être. Mais ça, c'est pour ma bonne nom pour yon réponse.
Merci.
Let's go. Not far now. Vita, Emily. Mais pas plus.
Look, one of his little strap thingies is broken.
You should reach out and pull on it.
Or that little carabiner there, just like attach that to something when he's standing close to it.
That would be really funny.
Deal with animal before.
Yeah.
The prank fails and he thinks you're trying to put your arm around
The
him.
animals out of the gym. Extinct. That why you hired me?
Or he just takes the jacket off and punches you in the face.
He
I
definitely
mean, it
walks
makes
like
no
he's seen
sense
some
them
shit.
being here. Middle of Pacifica.
He kind of walks a little bit like he's got a turd in his pants.
I think it's supposed to be an injured leg, right? I mean, he's definitely favoring
Ah,
that straight left leg.
that would make more sense.
Make you do something stupid?
It'd be more thematically appropriate than a
How many
turd.
we talking about in there?
Daddy.
I don't know.
Maybe more.
Say more people have turds than more than people who have leg injuries.
You
That
see.
is definitely one. Like as much sex as this game has, and you know, bodily fluid exchange. Like there should be more poop jokes.
When do I see Brigitte?
Maybe
Can you
they
even go poop in this universe, or do they just have like a virtual poop shoot now?
Yeah, I don't think they address
What the
it,
hell are you
but
doing?
I like to think that's because there's some kind of beautiful new solution to that.
Likely to talk your ears bloody.
Got a feeling we're not gonna become best friends. No chemistry.
I will survive.
What is the temperature in this world?
Why not send your own goons to the gym?
It's
I don't
not
think it's
always
constant.
How's that been working out for you?
work good.
Rue,
Good more
do
than
not.
bad. Your
We have a
own
tissue
someone
box
who
on like a
can
little table next to our desks.
Is that at
And
all
Rue will
relevant?
come over sometimes and just
Scared
put her nose on it, and then she looks at you and then she knocks it off.
I need no.
The you know those treats I was telling you about that are like chocolate but
It have
beef
no
flavored?
signature.
Yeah.
I came home and the bag had been shredded and raided.
No, I know.
Wow. Did they get out
Yeah.
of their room, or did you just let them like roam the house while you were gone?
Got a bullet to the brain.
They only go in their room at night. When I'm not here, they do whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Is the gameplay shuddering for anyone else, or is it just me? It looks alright to me.
Yeah, we're getting a different stream of it, but ours is fine.
Zero Skater, thank you for the sub.
Oh, thanks.
07. 3 seconds before. Poof.
Map of the Stars. Oh, that's right. You are supposed to be in California. There's a lot of like heavy like coats and stuff though, and I'm like, isn't that get warm? But I
Well,
guess
listen,
it's about the fashion.
it's California of 2077. We don't know what the climate's like.
Definitely a custom job.
Don't you know it's changing as we
Hey,
speak?
just trying to piece the facts together. Tech looks pretty advanced. Doesn't scream meathead to me.
They watch it very close. It is important, whatever it
Placide.
is.
Batman Kelly a descend encore.
Fais-moi porte là.
If it's wintertime? Nah, because the people walking around on the street
They're hired muscle.
are
Someone else needs
scantily dressed pretty often.
someone with a van full of netrunner tech. And that's where I come in to sniff out who?
Start with the camionette.
I like how there's generally, not every trip, but I'd say every maybe third or fourth trip to the grocery store, you'll catch a guy just in shorts.
You are my
That blows my mind. I guess I'm too cold natured. I couldn't imagine wearing shorts this time of year.
I will guide you.
Game sounds a bit low.
Another voice in
Oh,
your
yeah,
head
it's definitely
is
turned
what
down.
The Ripper Doc ordered.
So.
Chris and I can't hear it, so it's almost impossible for us to not talk over it, considering that I never stop talking. So if
Yeah.
you're trying to follow the game in that respect, I'm sorry.
I've got subtitles turned on, so you don't have to hear it if you can read. And I know some of you have been drinking hard enough, that's not a thing, but, you know, you're welcome.
Got it. So I do this.
Leather coats aren't inherently warm. Also, this dude is buff.
Yes.
What does his buffness have to do with his base temperature?
That would cause him to burn more calories and more ambient heat.
We are done.
I would think, like, leather's not as warm as like
None too
literally
fond of
almost any other kind of
strangers.
coat, but like
Are you?
in hot weather,
Like you.
hot enough where everyone else is wearing like
Meaning
booty shorts.
best watch it.
Surely that would be uncomfortable for him.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
surely he'd be sweating in it.
Yeah, you don't want anything to do with leather in a hot day. Big coat. Oh, you're saying he's big coat just because he's a big guy. Well, yeah. I follow Brian Shaw. He's one of the world's strongest man guys on YouTube, and
What?
he decided that he needed to really like lean down and cut weight.
Seems so.
So he's changed his diet, and like a hard fat loss diet, he's only eating 5,500 calories a day.
Only. It's just a small amount.
That's scary when you have that much muscle that that's just maintenance, basically.
They did one of those scans, like those new age scans on him, and he kind of looks a little bit fat just because, you know, those guys carry extra weight, but his body fat percentage, I think, was like 17. He's just a solid lump. And they said they'd never seen bone density like that. Oh, you're on fire.
It's fine.
Can you power slide down hills like this? Or you got the double jump? Oh,
I don't think you had enough momentum to do that. You're gonna need some Neosporin or something.
the pavement's really hot. There was gum stuck to it, and now it's on your pants.
I was watching that documentary about that action park, and their infirmary was just a little shack, and there was no medical professional. They had a spray bottle full of a 50-50 mixture of iodine and pure rubbing alcohol.
Oh.
And whatever was wrong with you, they just bring you in there and spray you down.
Wow.
Who's there for fuck's sake?
Oopsie.
I remember I had an experience where, well, you're really just messing this jump up. I had an experience where we were at like a theme park once when I was in high school, maybe, and it just like this huge thunderstorm came rolling in,
My people. Talk
and there was no plan. Like
You V?
the staff just disappeared, and everyone was like, "Do we need to go?" And then like you could hear the siren from the next town over going off, and it was a harrowing like 10 minutes while the storm passed over, and I was like, "What are we gonna do if a tornado happens?"
All quiet.
Was this
No one out?
what kind of park was this?
Well,
This was
they went out for surprise once.
what's the one that gives out the free soda? Beach
know.
Bend Park. It was a
I didn't-
weird
but is it-
experience.
Are we talking about like, mid-sized wooden coaster type?
It's pretty big. Like it has a water park and an actual theme park in it.
Okay, so well, they must have had some kind of building you could go into.
I mean, everyone was just kind of crowding in the bathrooms, but like there was no
You're getting bored.
like no one came on an intercom, like none of the staff like did anything. A lot of the buildings just closed. So everyone just hid in the bathroom. It was weird.
I guess technically,
Holiday World, that's it, Nubbin, you're right. That's the one I was thinking of.
they only really sell you admission to the park. They're not really responsible for anything beyond that.
Yeah. It was weird though, because I was like, I'd never really considered what to do in an emergency while I'm at a theme park. And it kind of made me a little nervous after that.
Yeah,
And
well,
now- Oh, continue.
go ahead.
I was going to say, now when I build parks in Parkitect, I always make a space where the people can hide from bad weather.
How do you put like a cover up somehow?
Yeah, you can build like roofed buildings. Or you can build like
Okay.
awnings and stuff and they can hide under that.
But I think most people who encounter any kind of crisis like that have that exact same thought, because you assume that life is never going to go there. But in fact,
It
it can
did.
go there so easily.
Yeah, and it was just one of those things like, man, I never really thought about what... Because you go to theme parks during the summer, and like thunderstorms happen all the time in the summer. And my dumb teenage brain just didn't put it together, like, sometimes that's going to happen. Like, but don't worry. I used that experience just to make my Parkitect parks better. I learned nothing else.
It was all worth it.
Yeah. Oh, my neighbors are starting the music up.
Life is a test and I'm failing. I forgot you're supposed to fill out the Scantron. I actually marked on the test itself.
You know how like you start on a test and it's like name, and then you put your full name, and then the next field is last name.
Then you have to mark it out, and you're like, oh God, they're going to think I tried to change my name. They're going to think I'm cheating.
I think everyone has done that, and every time it happens, I still feel like a dumbass.
Okay, I'm in.
I see.
Did any of your grade school teachers ever give you the
Right.
assignment that had like tricky instructions, and if you just did the work quickly because it was easy and just threw it back at them, you failed because you missed the secret instruction that says don't actually
Don't
do these math
anything.
problems.
Yeah. I don't think that ever got me. I don't think, but I remember that happening. I had multiple teachers try that.
Do that on a job application. I got clickbaited on some Elon Musk article, and they were talking about like the one question he asked all of his job interviews, and it was it was really basic shit. It was just tell me a problem you had and how you solved it, which is like job interview 101. And I thought, like, how hilarious would it be if you went in to talk to Elon Musk and he was like, tell me a problem you had and how you solved it. And you just went in on this like lifelong sob story of the most horrific shit. Just see how long he'd let you go.
Wait, who is that?
It should culminate with you killing someone.
Accidentally, as a drunk driver.
No, I was gonna say like that's how you solve, like that's how you end the story. That's
Oh,
how you
okay,
solve
that's
the
it,
problem. Yeah.
Waste here. Oh, I can relate.
You can relate to dumping bodies in a dumpster?
Yeah.
They're so much more unwieldy than you expect them to be.
They are, aren't they?
So that GME? Yeah, that GME. It's interesting.
Diamond hands. Meme.
I don't get it. Maybe chat can explain it to us. What is the difference between diamond hands and paper hands?
And does it have any relation to the phrase "catch these hands"?
I don't even know what you're talking about. What's diamond hands and paper hands?
You've not seen that all over the internet with the GME stuff? Yeah. Paper hands
No.
are people who sell. Diamond hands are people who hold.
Oh, yeah, okay. So strong and weak hands.
Yeah, I
are the
guess,
phrases.
yeah.
You know what? I don't think that a lot of these Redditors have strong hands.
What makes you think that?
I think a lot of them are trading next month's rent right now.
It is crazy how many people are like just really throwing a ton of money at this.
I think Robinhood's going to go out of business.
Oh, I think so too.
Something that's very wrong at Robinhood. And probably they're going to take everybody's money with them. And the powers that be will blame the mob instead of an insolvent brokerage that should have been ready for this bullshit. And they're going to be like, oh, we need to make some changes.
Not to the circumstances that led to this, but to make sure that people can't do this again.
From now on, if you're going to be a retail stock trader, you're probably going to have to put like 10 grand in escrow. But you won't have to do that if you're a hedge fund.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, maybe I've definitely seen a lot of people waking the fuck up this week. Will they do anything about that? Probably not. I feel like I was pretty aware of most of this shit. I didn't do anything.
I only had like a very loose understanding of anything to do with stocks, really. And then as I was reading about this, as the situation progressed over the week, I was like, wow, this really is like, I always kind of felt like it was just gambling, but it really is just gambling, isn't it?
But it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It would be super simple to just make it like you actually want to invest in a company by changing how some of the things work. But, you know, it's the people writing the laws, as is often the case, are really benefiting from those rules. But you know what? Take that, everything that I just said there, taxes. Same thing applies to fucking taxes. It could be simple, it could work, it could be much less painful for the average man, but it never will be. What are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm supposed to not be detected.
He's just looking natural at the gym, you know, sneaking around crouching.
Well, the duck walk is a very good, you know, like lower body build up
Workout.
your wind kind of workout, yeah. Or the crab walk. You ever try the crab walk as an adult?
Yeah.
Oh
It'll
I
yeah.
like.
fuck your world up.
Yeah. Rue and I like to run around and wrestle and like throw toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And Rue is a lot better at that than I am.
What's your finishing move when you do that?
I like so eventually Rue will get tired and she'll lay down, and then I like to push her over and it makes me laugh.
Oh my god, the cats are tearing the fucking place up there. They got a very light dinner today.
So they're upset.
Let me go up here and smack them around a little bit. Not really. I'm not gonna hit my cats.
Oh no, I'm carrying too much. Time to scrap some shotguns. So many unique weapons. What am I doing?
I'm eating chips and salsa and it's making my nose run.
Yeah, I'm disassembling crap. Yeah, I've disassembled everything. Woo!
Your guy has a unique look going on right now. What does your hat say?
I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat can tell us.
Does anyone in chat speak Chinese? Read Chinese, I guess.
Might as well destroy that.
Oh, the crop top and the pink gun is a look.
I accidentally destroyed a bunch of things, but it's fine.
Are those like your best items or whatever? So it's like it doesn't matter. That's the way this game works, right? Like you don't really care about looks. You just have to get the best stats, and you can't change the stats on an item.
Right. Yep. Well, you can actually, but it costs so much. It's stupid. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, matching gun and hat.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is amazing. This is amazing. This is just... Alright, let's see what we can do in the way of pants.
You need a schoolgirl skirt to complete the outfit.
Perfect. Hey.
There you go. Iconic. You were just in the middle of the gym playing a fashion show by yourself.
Yup.
The fuck's going on? Huh?
Is he still just out, or did you actually murder him?
No, in this mission, you're not supposed to murder anybody.
Oh, that's disappointing.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, that is me with the sniffles. Sorry. I really like spicy food, but my nose does not. So anytime I eat something, even just a teensy bit spicy, it just immediately starts running. I feel like some cats just got an ass whooping, chat.
Well, there's a lot of people here. Again, I'm setting up a turret. Well, let's go back down.
A stun turret.
Ooh, look at this.
White people problems, it's true.
It left the optic behind?
That's fine. Don't worry about that. They fixed that issue. You didn't see that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I need a nice, long, coiled audio cable, chat. What's a good brand for that?
Amazon Basics, clearly.
1/8 of an inch. It's got to stretch at least 7-8 feet.
Or the cat's being bad.
Turn over the garbage can.
Oh no. Were they like in there eating stuff or?
Trying to, yeah.
Swear there are ghosts here.
Being snots, yeah, they're a little bit hungry and they do this shit constantly when they feel like they should be fed.
There's too many people around the van.
Just throw a grenade in there.
Yeah, really.
Can you do a smoke one? That might clear them out, right? That would be the way it would work in logical world, but I don't know about that in this game.
This is stupid. I'm just stupid, right?
Just shot them. I don't think he's allowed to for this quest.
Okay, at the van.
Why do I even
No
care?
sign of the runner.
I see what you see. No chatter. Now, interface with the van.
But I gotta get to the other side.
Can you not jump through the window? Was passing through eastern Kentucky and saw a lot of houses with those large cube water tanks near the edge of the road. What's that about? Was it like on the edge of the road or was it near the house?
I don't know what you're talking about.
A lot of people collect rainwater. You might have been seeing people collecting rainwater, but if it's out by the road and not like under a gutter somewhere, I don't know what that is. I want to collect rainwater. Can't do that in my apartment, but may do so soon.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah, you can in Kentucky.
Water table, Krista.
You can in Kentucky. They encourage it. There's like a whole page on the U.S. or not U.S. Kentucky government website that's like, here's how you set up a rain barrel. We're not like California, where you have to worry about that kind of stuff. We are overflowing with water.
And people.
True. Actually, not so true. Don't move here, Chad. It's terrible. You'll all hate it. The mountains, the rivers, the quiet. It's terrible.
Well, there's plenty of bad shit around here, to be honest about.
I mean, there is. Yeah.
There's the myth. There's the barking dogs. Man, you know, I've been watching that Soft White Underbelly channel more because it's great to have on in the background. And when I say great, I mean, you know, car crash interesting. But he's been putting, since I've been watching it last, like a year ago, I guess, he's been putting a lot of sex workers and like child predators and shit on there. And that stuff is just like
That's
it
the
all comes back to people who should not have had kids having kids. And it never ends.
Do you drink the water or use it for cleaning? Most people use it in their garden. So you're not using as much actual, like, you know, hose water, house water on your garden.
Where's the netrunner at? That's revealing my position.
I don't know how deep the water table is, but I'm gonna look it up. If only we had the internet to tell us.
But you're playing into it. You're interneting for him.
That's true. This government website is atrocious, and I can barely parse it. Oh, in fact, so clicking that map did not actually pull up a larger version of the map. It just pulled up this strange other page of graphs. Okay. I don't know how to parse any of this information. I'm too dumb.
I seem to have broken my cyberware. I still can't aim for shit.
University of Kentucky's map looks better, but University of Kentucky also has a lot of great information about native plants if you're into that kind of thing. Hot tip, chat. If you live in Kentucky and or Zone 6 and need information about native plants, there's a lot on their website.
Is this AI broken? Because it was just hanging out there for a minute.
It's so it could dramatically pose.
Look how stupid this is. Grenades,
You know,
shotgun shells, none of it matters. Just absorb it.
You played this and you said you were like just kind of had no interest in returning to it, right?
Yeah, I've been playing so many other games. Although I also kind of lost my, I played too much of that Factorio clone all at once. That was a stupid move. You gotta, space it out. 6-hour sprints will ruin it.
But that's not the way it was with Factorio. Like, personally, I would kind of get bored with it, but like almost everyone else I've ever seen who plays that game,
Well, see,
I've been
but
like, oh, I could play that for hours.
the problem is, the first, X number of hours of that game is Factorio. So you're kind of experiencing it again as Factorio. Doesn't help the fatigue. Hook up the Google results back in to the AI dungeon. Oh, that's 2 messages. What if you hooked up the AI dungeon? You'd end up charging a lot of money. Did you all read about Italy? I've heard that it might be a country in Europe.
It is, yeah. They have some good food. Stuff grows well there.
my number one thing that was bugging me on the doom scrolling this week is that, Brazil, where they don't have any vaccines and they haven't done anything to control the thing, there's a new wave of the thing that's even more infectious than the old thing, and might not work with the vaccine that we already have. And herd immunity, like they would expect, based on all the models, that herd immunity would be a thing, and it's not.
That's the third time we've heard that.
Yeah, there's 3 variants now.
There's also no herd immunity, which is perhaps not good.
Concerning. Yeah. I mean, that didn't work out for Sweden, I don't think, but like that, I think that was always suspected, but it's worrying to see that it's being played out in so many countries.
Why is there a bar on your screen that never does anything?
That's a bug, I think.
Oh. I thought, no, they fixed all the bugs in the patch, so.
Hold your shit together!
Yeah, my mom was not thrilled to hear about all the new variants. She was already getting all her groceries delivered, and now she's like, I don't even want to like take my car out. Like,
Oh, I died.
ooh,
Wasn't paying close enough attention. But that's okay.
Dying is okay.
I saved at a convenient spot.
they added a new bug that might break the story progression. Oh, this guy's still alive though. Matilda.
Did you read about Merc? Well, I basically read about one thing this week, you know. So. Hey, there's the meter.
There it goes.
This is what I broke last time.
When I fought that chick, I just used a melee weapon and dodged.
They shouldn't have called her Matilda. It should have been Miss Trunchbull.
I don't know that reference.
You never saw Matilda? It's based on a book.
I'm aware of the name, but I can't. It's like a cartoon, right?
No, it was, well, I can't think of the author right now. But it was like a really popular kids book, and then they made it into like a live action movie in the 90s.
Did they not make it into an animated one before that?
Maybe they did, but I've not seen it if they have. It's notable that Matilda's teacher, I think, was also called Rose, so I wonder if this is some sort of weird reference, but they didn't want to use Trunchbull. Even though Trunchbull would be more accurate for this Amazon of a woman.
They
Oh,
probably had 7 or 8 meetings to decide whether or not.
I thought the teacher was Rose. My husband just whispered it was Miss Honey.
I think she's had enough.
Who's the author of that book? Roald Dahl.
I think that's Tom Clancy.
Ooh, this time she dropped some sort of weapon that I can't take with me. I want her hammer, though. Where's her hammer?
What is your favorite author? But I could not think of the
There
name.
it is.
Yo, piss on this, man.
Was I not able to pick that up?
It's glowing.
Can you not interact with it at all?
There it is. I was able to pick it up. Sasquatch's hammer. Oh, it's
Oh, so
glowing.
it's just, but it's still stuck in the environment.
Apparently, yeah.
That's fine. Again, they fixed all the bugs. Don't look at that.
You know, it's crazy. I never experienced this many bugs when I was playing. You think they've introduced some?
I definitely do, because this was less buggy on the first playthrough.
Oh, wow. Is that just because all the devs are dead inside now?
Yes.
They put all this effort into it, and the world kind of took a shit on it.
Well, I'm sure that they also had to work like overtime over Christmas as well, so it was probably crunch on that too.
And see, now that I've got this fancy pants, whatever this is, I can't run. Like, it won't let me run. It's just like, this is ridiculous.
What would you do if you made a little over 3 million on GME? I would sell it slowly, but as quickly as I could without tanking the market.
Pay for my house.
I would also not have $3 million because at 2 million I would have sold. Maybe at 1. Unfortunately, that's not retirement money. That's like a decent start, but it wouldn't. I don't know if I would call that life changing. I guess it would be.
Paper hands.
Yeah, I don't have any. I'm not really buying into the movement, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm all for it. I wish them luck, I guess, but I don't see it making a big difference. Darkstar X. Suddenly, 43rd month out of nowhere, should be 47.
Thank you.
Oh, did you kill that girl or was she a bystander?
No, I killed it. Who's trying to melee me?
$1 million would be enough for me to quit my job? Okay, how much money you... Here's how I think about it, chat. $1 million is 10 years of very comfortable retirement, even considering a few medical bills. Or 20 years of okay retirement, but you better not get sick.
Depends on how much interest you can earn.
I mean, if you want to risk it again, but we're trying to, you know, like, get out of the market here. We're locking into retirement mode.
Well, at one point though, like you could expect like 6 or 7%, and just like, you know, like the bank would just give you that.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
No, you can't.
anymore that's crazy, but that was not crazy at one point.
I mean, the government bonds, you're just getting nothing. And that's really the only thing that I would say would be super safe.
The real
Retirement
laugh is imagining retirement at all.
Retirement doesn't mean getting on the market, but if you're still in the market, then that money is not locked in. You could lose at any time. Shit, do you not think we're going towards some sort of catastrophic fucking event? Look what's happening. It's fun to poke the market, and I'm right there with you, but you can poke it too much. That's happened. Take some of that money and open a Chick-fil-A. I don't think that would pass with Chick-fil-A. Like, however they do the judgment. I guess the board, the franchisees have to be vetted.
I can't imagine you working in a position where you have to be super friendly. Because, like, the managers at Chick-fil-A are super friendly.
Maybe I could have like a stealth manager who was my mouthpiece.
Just
Kind of like in wrestling, like when you have a guy in wrestling who's in really good shape and looks good, but he's stupid, you give him a manager. So I would have like a fake manager for my Chick-fil-A.
I was thinking about the Key and Peele skit where they have Obama's anger translator. It would be like that. Or you would just be like muttering under your breath, and your anger translator is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we got your order wrong, ma'am. Let me just take that back to the kitchen, and you have a nice day."
Yeah, see, Ryan's would be the opposite, though. This would be like the diplomacy translator.
Yeah.
Chat, here's a question. We were talking about this earlier. I think we talked about this on the news. When you get on a conference call, those of you who have to do that kind of thing for your job, do you start with the camera on, or do you leave it off? We'll wait for them to answer. Warlord Inc. says, Krista, 5 million right now, but you have to work the cheese counter on weekends till 65. I would totally do that.
What are we talking about? 16 hours every weekend? That is no problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I used to work at a liquor store. That was great. I mean, the pay was terrible, but like, it was very chill. Very like easy job.
Here's the question: if you lose that job, do you lose the money, or if they fire you, do you get out of it? Because you could work the cheese counter, and they'd be like, "Oh, Krista, we're really slammed right now. Could you open up a register?" And you'd be like, "Bitch, I run the cheese counter."
My only job is selling people cheese.
You just like you got one of those wire-based cheese cutters, and like you don't even reply to them. You just take a real slow grind off a big piece of Colby and put it in your mouth.
And just like chew it, but like it would be more impactful if I could actually swallow it. But it was just it's too creamy, and like I'm kind of gagging a little bit.
You have to get some water.
A lot of people saying they don't even have a camera. I always keep mine off. Like there would be calls where other people would have theirs on, and I was like, "No, I ain't doing that." And then after that, like no one else would do it either.
No, I don't mind the camera. I don't feel like it adds anything, but
Yeah,
I do. Sometimes it's annoying to have to like tidy up my area before a meeting.
They can't know the filth in which I live.
Well, you know, like I'll have some dirty plates or something on the couch back here.
I've always wanted to set up a green screen and create some sort of like really horrifying set, and then like in the middle of the conference call, like occasionally the green screen glitches out and it shows something really horrifying, like, you know, a subway, or like I'm in the corner of a subway, or like a culvert, like a water drain, or just some really horrifying scene. But it's like the green screen glitches out from like the generic bookshelf background. It's like poorly done to like a really well done, just a horrifying set, and then just see if anybody says anything.
Here's the real power play. You a live deep fake of yourself in the chair that's just operating off of your voice input. And in the background, it's kind of out of focus, but there's something laying on the floor. And then halfway through the meeting, like Saw, you get up out of the floor and you've been there all along talking.
Something really horrible, like in the corner of a subway. I find that
He was talking about a subway train system, not a subway sandwich shop.
I'm imagining, or what was I going to say? Shoot, I lost my train of thought now. I find, at least when we do calls, people don't seem to react to like anything that's happening in the background of your video, but they do respond to things happening like background sounds. So, for example, over the summer, I was doing a call with some people, and one of the guys, you could hear his kid screaming and his air conditioner unit, like from the window, you could hear it. It was just like the whole time. And finally, someone, like we made it like 10 minutes into the meeting, and someone was like, "Can you please turn that off? Like, can you mute yourself? I can't deal with it." And he was like, "Oh, sorry."
Funny.
It was very funny. It was like, what? Yeah, so I'm not going to make that sound again, because it is very annoying. But it was just like the rumbling of an air conditioner. I don't even know if people would notice if you had something weird in your background. Like, just visually.
Depends. People really analyzed when this first started, and remember the news people were at home? They really analyzed their backgrounds.
This job is reconnaissance. Make no noise.
Audio is everything. That is a lesson we learned early on.
Yeah. It's still not perfect.
Did you just kill those robots for no reason?
I wanted their parts. They had delicious gold parts, which are rare components, or legendary components, or whatever.
There's a clip I don't think we ever released of Wendell angrily saying something about arranging the foam into a pentagram to get the sound to sound right.
I wish I could travel back in time and share the knowledge that I have now with the knowledge then, because it wasn't quite as complicated as I made it out to be, but also I had no idea that audio technology was so shitty.
It felt a lot more difficult than it... I mean, it still is difficult sometimes, but like... The struggle was so much realer.
I like the microphones that I constructed. Like, I literally constructed microphones, and they're every bit as good as like those $3,000 microphones.
But how many things in life can be described like that? Whereas, like, the second time you did it, it was way easier, but you were also surprised how bad even the professional parts of it are.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is they?
Netwatch. They always out to fuck us.
Usually have cats in the foreground. Yeah, everybody wants to see a cat. Come on.
Recently, huh? Really doubt they'd attack like this unprovoked.
One reason only. Always the same. Rezo Agwe. It is a net they cannot see, cannot touch.
When is the baby trade going to commence? I don't think they've modded that into this game yet.
You must reach the agent.
Huge oversight.
Look at the map. He is in cinema.
Step away now. This isn't your fight.
Playthrough still cowboy data. This is the Corpo playthrough. I don't know where it is on the timeline of... You've played this without them seeing it, right?
What now?
Have you played this off stream since the last time you streamed?
Maybe like an hour. I'm still the Corpo.
Hentai posters in the background. I guess they do make hentai posters, don't they? I don't think I've ever seen one.
Must find him. Face him.
Okay, so what do I do once I find him?
I will tell you.
This game was a huge letdown. Yeah, well, so his life has also been that.
The agent man tries to cut you off.
Oh, that got juked you hard. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Feels like that Indiana Jones scene.
Yeah, he didn't think that through. I mean, he got one good punch on you, but was it worth it? At what cost?
Yo, piss on this, man.
Okay.
Just started Skyrim because I live under a rock. See, I'm kind of jealous of people who like are just getting into gaming because there's so much
To play.
history. That was true when we were young too, but there was a lot less of it then.
Skyrim is a game that sometimes I just boot it up just to like wander around in the in-game environment. It's so good.
But it's not as good as this one, Krista. Objectively, I don't know why you are so resistant to new things. Actually,
Maybe
I
because
do.
it was one of the first games I played that I really, really enjoyed on PC.
It's nostalgia, but it's also your sword and sorcery racism.
It is sword and sorcery racism. I do vastly prefer magic to guns.
See, that and the AI dungeon stuff, you really took to that. I think you are just like waiting to break out into your tabletop revolution.
Yeah, I think I would like D&D, but I need to find someone to play it with,
What?
which is hard right now.
What if, Krista? Well, obviously not right now, but what if your new house becomes a regular Dungeons and Dragons game?
That would be fun. I have a couple of friends who play it, but they live kind of far away, but they've recently moved closer to me, so maybe that would be a thing eventually.
They do have plenty of online things to try to facilitate that. I mean, I'm sure it's not as good, but it's doable.
See, like a little quality of life thing here could be because I accidentally stumbled into the second floor of the cinema and already faced Sasquatch when it was like, we don't know where the Netrunner is. You know, just a voice line or two could have been like, oh, I bet the reason that Sasquatch was in the second line of the second story of the cinema is because she was protecting the Netrunner.
Don't have to play D&D? Well, we just established, Two Spoons, that D&D is what Kristen needs in her life. Everything up until this point has been guiding her toward that. It's her destiny.
You must first.
Proceed.
You know, that movie screen doesn't look like 50 years of technological advancement. Looks
Well,
pretty basic.
They kind of talk about that because this guy apparently likes old westerns.
Whoa, hey,
Oh, okay.
What did you do?
well, now we can talk in private. Just
Isn't there
separate the
role
connection
play
to the rest of
D&D?
Pacifica. Gives us
Isn't that the whole purpose of D&D? Yeah.
It's literally a role-playing game, so I don't know what that's...
Let's go.
All right, then let's hear it.
Had a Spectre on you, didn't you? Saw and heard all you did. You followed his orders. No idea what the voodoo boys are paying you, but our pockets are deeper.
In the park. Oh, you mean LARPing.
Think I'll just stick to my plan.
Oh yeah, that is LARPing. There was a LARP group in the college town I went to. You'd go take a walk at the park and there'd just be people beating each other with foam swords. Apparently there are magic users in LARPing, and I'm like, I don't know how that works.
It's a complex system of rules. I was watching a YouTube channel one time where these guys would go and they would film it, but their whole point of being there was to be way too violent with the LARPing. And they would always get kicked out because they're just beating the shit out of these guys.
What happened?
Tennis balls? I guess that would hurt.
What do you think? Booties were blowing smoke.
Oh, someone else is saying small sandbags.
So spellcasters then are like a good baseball pitcher would be the best spellcaster in your team.
Kick everyone else's ass. Yell fireball and throw a beanbag.
Right, then Placide's face ought to light up like a Christmas tree when you
Listen, no hate. I bet that's fun.
Come on, let's head to Batty's and get this shit
It
set.
could be fun, especially if you're drinking.
Grumpy motherfucker.
Just a bunch of drunk adults at the park throwing beanbags at each other.
Ooh, what is this?
Do you think we'll ever get another Elder Scrolls game?
They're working on it right now, I think.
Yeah, I think
They've
they
been saying
are.
that for like ages, though.
Is that
It's almost
another
been 10
single player
years.
one though?
I don't know.
See, that's the thing about it these days. You never know when you're going to get a new game, and it's just online horse shit. Fallout 76.
Yeah, well, let's see. I want Elder Scrolls 6. And Skyrim came out in 2011. I mean, it's 2021 now. They've had years. Come on. I mean, they released that one trailer, but it was really just like a flyover of some scenery, and there was literally nothing else in it.
But see, here's the thing, Krista. During those years, what they had to do was re-release that game on literally every platform imaginable.
They also spent a bunch of time on Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm just not interested in.
I'm surprised that Tiger Electronics doesn't have a version of Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls Online is genuinely okay. I don't know. What I would love to see from an Elder Scrolls game is just co-op with like a small group of friends. There is that mod, and some friends and I tried it, but it's not fantastic. It works pretty well, but it doesn't always sync up what everyone gets during a quest. But it was fun to explore like the world together. Never go back to older Bethesda titles. See, I tried playing Oblivion like years and years ago, and the controls and stuff were so clunky on it compared to what I was used to that I kind of had a hard time getting into it.
Yeah, everybody says it's a better game, but I think that only applies if you start with that game.
Yeah, I didn't. I started with Skyrim, so going back to it was rough. There's a really good meme from that, though.
Troubleshooting simulator? What are we troubleshooting?
I thought you dead.
Also, I love in Oblivion, like when you talk to an NPC and it zooms in on their face. Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, they wanted to show off their facial mapping and stuff like that.
That's so funny.
It's cutting edge, Krista.
Fuck Mosley. Got eyes.
But see, you're judging it with modern eyes.
I am, yeah. See, like I didn't play this when it came out.
That was not our plan.
Saw you zeroing agent tags.
I mean, you got to remember,
Tell me you didn't
when
know
we
what was
saw
going on.
Little Super Mario,
Don't
we were
tell
like,
me I
holy
didn't see
fucking
what I
shit.
saw.
Look at this. This is like real life.
You got it. It is that simple. I had to
I
save
love
the
this
people.
clip.
They are most important to me.
It's so
I tried to save
stupid.
the boy. Mosley, he was stronger than we think.
Your people. Who?
What about MUD? What is MUD? I don't know that acronym.
Netwatch hold her frozen in ice. So you see, this whole rotten job was in your interest. It was the only way you could talk with Brigitte.
What do you think of the hair physics in this game?
Might have been good to
I
know
really
that
didn't-
before you threw
I don't
me
think
in
they
the
stand
fucking
out.
fire.
They've never noticed them being terrible.
This is not over. Netwatch will return.
I hope you will not leave.
Anyone else find that like YouTube just recommends the same videos over and over again?
You see this gun?
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Multi-user dungeon. We're talking about graphical fidelity here, Two Spoons. I was big into MUDs, though.
You must be Brigitte. Hard woman to find.
you have something.
The problem with the MUD is if you spent enough time there
Yes, and we must
and
check
like
it
got to
first.
know everybody and got high level, they would just make you a god. And then there was no game anymore. It was really
How much
just
do you know from my scan?
hanging out and chatting.
More than Placide, I'm sure.
You recognized the biochip because you were looking for it.
We must examine you.
Imagination is the best graphics card. Two Spoons, you know about Cataclysm? Get some of that in your life. You don't
wanna
care
get
about
right in
graphics.
my
That's the
head.
best game ever made.
I don't know. I'm starting to have some trust issues with you guys.
You came to us in a bad time.
It's supposed to be an apology?
You get apology when you say how much you want for the chip. It is in good condition.
Oh, when did you go to Taco Bell?
I did.
Jealous.
What'd you get?
Chalupas.
Really is their strongest menu item.
Biochip's not for sale. And you're not
They
ready
took
for
the taco and they looked at it and they were like, this is strong, but we could deep fry this.
Not that
But
bad.
could you air fry it?
Problem is,
Probably could, yeah. I wouldn't get that nice shape.
Death. Seeing as you commissioned the thing's theft, figured you might know a way to help.
The neighbors are stomping.
How did you find us?
I bought a giant pack of chicken drumsticks. I'm gonna air fry hard tomorrow.
You found us because she led you to us. She proved not completely useless.
End of January 2021. Are you saying it is now? It's close to it.
Can you help me or not?
Yes, of course, but not here.
Isn't air frying just grilling? It's not quite the same because the heat is not coming from the metal. The heat is coming from fans. You know, running off of heating rods. So it heats different.
Now, last time everybody died. I wonder if this time everybody will die.
But honestly,
Oh.
you don't give off a strong
Also,
religious vibe.
this woman's wearing a puffy long coat. Well, it's the vest.
Yet we are strong here.
What is the temperature in this world?
It's usually kind of a lot.
Maybe they've got some kind of personal cooling technology, Chris. So this is the future after all.
Like they just have some glow sticks up on the altar.
If we created technology that made it so that no matter what you were wearing, you were a comfortable temperature, what would you wear? Would you ever wear a big, like,
how
heavy
come
stuff?
Placide didn't know about the biochip. He didn't recognize it in the scan.
I kind of like wearing like layers of scarves and stuff, so I probably would.
So in July, you could pop that on and feel exactly the same as if you were in a tank top. So would you sometimes do that?
Yeah, just for the fashion of it.
Is that a confection oven? It's not a confection oven. It's not edible at all.
An edible oven that's fully functional. How would that even work? How would it not set itself on fire?
Sugar. Yeah, the air fryer, I understand that you think it's a gimmick, and it might be. I'll tell you how I feel about the air fryer to perfectly sum it up. The food generally is either slightly better to quite a bit better. For chicken that you don't like batter or anything, you just grill it, way better. Burgers, steaks, kind of the same. But here's the kicker, super convenient and easy to clean.
Japan has ventilated jackets. I mean, you can do that. Like, are you talking about like just having a pit zip? I don't think that's quite the same.
Well, they make race car drivers use these suits, and it's like Peltier on top of fans, and they can really drop your temperature. Because like in the summer in those NASCARs, can you imagine how much that track heat is? And they don't have any cooling systems.
We do not use anything from the city.
Okay.
Does it use more power? Probably, but it takes much less time.
We wish to contact Alt Cunningham. We know she and Silverhand were close.
Alt?
The relic is Arasaka. It is our only lead.
Alt Cunningham. Heard of her?
Oh. Where? From who?
From Johnny.
It's Chris's webcam. I switched it back to the actual webcam and not the fancy cam.
Guess you better tell her.
Just because we didn't have time to fool with it, but I'm gonna have to mess with it again before next week and figure out why that happened. It was weird because it just did it like halfway through the episode.
What? Think I'm hallucinating? Found myself an imaginary friend?
Little is known of how an engram might exist within a human's neural network.
I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't shake out well for the human. What's your plan to contact?
It was an artistic choice, chat. You just didn't get it.
Piece of Silverhand's engram from the biochip.
Reaper of Mars, I disagree. I think air frying is here to stay. You know what the big indicator of that is to me? When you buy certain frozen items and look on the back, there are now 3 sets of heating instructions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Connection stop.
I wonder why I have to take an ice bath in this particular timeline.
Why not?
Okay. What now? Johnny?
She just pulls out like a 2-liter Mountain Dew and starts pouring it in.
How long could you do that, Krista?
Sit in an ice bath or just swim in Mountain Dew?
Either.
Not long for either, really. Ice bath, I don't think I would take Watu at all.
Oh, what about room temperature Mountain Dew?
I feel like the fist would be uncomfortable.
Two Spoons, I don't know about the reliability of the air fryer. I've only had it for a week or two.
Where are we?
No, make a post on Buy It for Life.
BBS, data fortress. Bridge to the deep net.
Mountain Dew has a lower freezing point. Yeah, than plain water, I'm sure, but you can certainly freeze it in a commercial freezer.
Imagining like a science textbook that's talking about like the freezing point of different liquids and Mountain Dews listed on there.
We must find the data on Alt. Alt alone. This should only take.
I'm in Iowa, and there's a frozen lake nearby, and I was thinking about getting in. Anyone have advice or experience? My advice would be to film it.
Maybe go with a person, because I had a friend who decided, oh, I'm gonna go like test my weight on the ice of this pond, and he was fine, like because he had a bunch of friends around and we could drive him back to his dorm room really fast. But you know, it was also very deep water. He just went up to like his waist, and he still was like, and like his lips turned blue. And if he had been by himself, that might have been bad.
So that action park, that water park, they were a ski resort before they became a water park, and they just kind of bolted the water park stuff onto it, and they had these tubes that you could ride down as like a water slide, and they went into a natural stream, like a natural river. But what no one knew going for the first time is that river wasn't part of the park. It was runoff from the snow that was melting on the mountaintop.
Oh no.
So they would go down the tube and go into nearly freezing water and just seize up.
Oh. I thought when you said runoff, I thought you were going to be like, oh, that was, you know, some sort of toxic sludge.
No, just cold water. It turns out that'll do it.
That's also dangerous. Yeah, I mean, ideally don't go on the ice at all, but if you must, for some weird reason you need to prove yourself, please do that with other people around to supervise you, so you can get warm quickly.
Changed my mind, lover. Look at you.
Because if you get cold enough, you won't think straight, so.
Apparently what you want to do is try to smash and break the ice, not pull yourself up onto it, because you won't be able to.
Woo! A lot of things happening. I don't know what's happening, chat. I'm confused.
Looks like some sex.
She just poured wine on her top.
Yeah, that's not really. I think it was some kind of bourbon or something. That's just not very attractive. I mean, that's just gonna be a terrible mess.
Yeah.
It's getting crazy, Krista. This is passion.
Is it though?
It's so passionate. So passionate that she's, for whatever reason, didn't take her top off.
Yeah.
Did you make it safe for Twitch? It's a good question. There's some full body shit going on there.
Oh dear. I thought they said it was okay.
We didn't see any pink, but
well, we've got I know we've got the other stuff like muted or whatever, because when you were changing clothes earlier, you didn't see anything.
Didn't they say it was okay? I thought it was okay.
In before band,
the rule is supposed to be if you don't like call extra attention to it, like we just did.
Oops. Oops. Look at these ceiling tiles. Oh,
she's like, look in my eyes, and you're just like staring away.
Should do like really awkward roleplay where you're always just looking at her feet.
We're done, Johnny. With it all. I just couldn't ghost without.
But she's breaking up with him.
Something.
You don't gotta ghost. I'll always
gladly fuck you when there's no one else around who wants to.
Isn't that exactly why you're here?
You can be such a bastard sometimes, Johnny.
Things were swimming. What? Change your mind? Said my gut.
She a wood hooker? What's a wood hooker?
Look, if you were just another charismatic, Narcissistic douche canoe running around after
Douche canoe. That's not a term I've heard since like high school.
I couldn't care less.
But
It's all
Oh, that reminds me.
that
So I told you I watched the Brian Shaw, the World's Strongest Man's videos, and he put out that one about his 5,000 calorie diet. And there was some bodybuilder guy who did a video about that, and YouTube put it in my feed because he put Brian Shaw's name in the title. His name's Greg Doucette, Doucettete, which is why douche made me think of it. This guy,
I get it.
look up his videos.
Fix your men, huh?
He's Richard Simmons, but like really, really fucking jacked.
I've got better things
But
to
he's
do.
super over the top animated. He's got the really high voice. He's exactly like Richard Simmons. He's always trying to motivate people to lose weight, except he's just huge.
Think we're done for the day, so you can fuck off.
Was Richard Simmons still a thing when you were growing up, Krista?
Not really.
But you know who it
I
is,
knew
right?
who he was, yeah, but like no one did like his exercise tape seriously. By the time that was something you saw at yard sales.
No, because he was pudgy his entire life. He was never really in shape.
Fuck all about
But isn't that sort of aspirational in its own way? Like he's just getting fit for his own sake.
No, I don't think so.
Where you going?
Sorry, Nubbin.
Got somewhere to be.
Silverhand! Hey! Come on, I'll walk you home.
Ran out of boosters, didn't you?
It's weird to see so many people smoking real cigarettes. Everyone was vaping I guess this is the future for us, but technically the past.
You could drop by.
She's so lifeless. Yeah, she does seem a little
Still don't get
uncanny
Yeah,
valley.
but they had the fall of civilization, so I guess he went back to tobacco after that.
Join us for a drop, Silver Rocker.
Another time, Chumbas.
What if there won't be another time?
Cigarettes are still around. Some people are doing it.
They smell so bad though.
There go my kidneys.
Rip in peace.
Smoking got a boost during the pandemic. So when people were out of money, they started smoking. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, do you think is there a point in this plot line where, like, in the future you find her but she's old? I don't actually know the full plot of this game.
No, not her.
The child you conceived on this night.
But Rogue is from his time.
See,
and she's
notice the cat. I think they meant for the cat to be like a deeper part of the story.
And Rogue, you can tell she's aged, but obviously there's some kind of like magic surgery she's getting, so she's still
Looks young, yeah.
Although,
Youngish.
I mean, these fucking Instagrams. Who was I looking at the other day? Brooke Burke. Jesus Christ. She's 49 or 59, and she looks exactly like she did. They had like a red carpet picture when she was young, right next to the same one. I don't know what kind of black magic it is.
How long did you say? 2 weeks since I last cobbled you up?
Where's Alt?
Where's who?
Woman who was with me.
He brought you and you alone.
Fuck, they grabbed her. Nobody saw it?
Ask your savior. Said his name was Thompson.
I like the doctor's pink shirt. My hometown doctor doesn't wear anything like that.
It's always Arasaka with you.
'Cause it always is Arasaka.
We gotta talk.
All right. It's spit and glue, but she's holding tight.
Some people just age well. Bullshit.
Even a few hours.
You think her great grandparents look like that at her age? They were dead.
Johnny.
They died in their 30s, and they were happy.
Ah, fuck it. You won't listen anyway.
How much you see?
Not much more than you. They wanted her. You was just home.
And you just stood there, dick in hand. gawking and dreaming of.
Here's a question, chat. A poll, if you will. Actually, I don't think I can put a poll in here, even as a mod. Or I'll just do it in the chat. We're talking about COVID testing. Butt or brain?
And no one's gonna take butt on purpose.
One of my friends took butt earlier.
What?
We were all talking about it in Discord, and I was like, "Oh, I would definitely do brain." And he was like, "No."
Oh, but they didn't actually get it done.
No.
See, I don't believe it. I don't believe it until you get until the swab is up your ass. I think at the last minute you're like, you know what?
I'll just do the brain swab. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna go home and die.
I'll pass on this poll. Seeing a lot of butt answers, but that might just be memeing.
No one takes the butt when you can take the nose. When she says brain, she's talking about COVID testing. You get the one up your nose,
yeah,
or the one up your ass.
wants her. Abduction was a standard intercorp extraction.
I don't think they go too far up the ass, do they?
I don't know.
Okay, so what are they after?
What if you came in there and you're like, listen, I want to make this easy on you. I didn't wipe this morning, so it's like I got a serious crust like right around the edge. Just shave some of that off.
Your chumbas that take that in. Sokka with you even imagine that rocker?
Cool. Tell me the rest on the way.
Want to make it uncomfortable in person swabbing, so I'm definitely going for butt.
And then as they get it in there, clamp down on it. Oh, they can't get it back.
Just you and me? You out of your fucking mind?
Swing by the Atlantis on the way. Got some chooms there.
I'll be in the car. Can't wait too long though.
Wait a minute.
Wait as long as you need to.
He said we're going to the Atlantis, but the sign was for the afterlife. Is that a mistake? Yeah, it was.
Where the hell's Rogue? Sit. Stay.
Would you poop your pants for $5,000? I don't know that I could bring myself to do it.
You mean you physically couldn't do it?
Yeah, I don't know that I could.
Well, if you went long enough or took the right supplements,
yeah, I guess you
could
really
very
control
easily do it. I mean, can I just do that in my house?
Yeah, what are the other parameters of this dare? Like, if it was like, could you poop your pants in a client meeting? I'd be like, no, that's not happening. But if it was just at your house...
But what if you could... What if you could try to time it so just as they're leaving, like right before they cross the threshold, you just fill your pants?
You get up and you walk over to the door and you're like, I'll send you guys the bill, and then you just drop one in your pants and walk out.
Oh no, you let them walk out, and the rule is they have to be in the room, but right before they leave the room, it starts cresting.
Oh, prairie dogging. Did it for free when you were a baby, but I've spent the greater part of like 28, 29 years not pooping in my pants. It's muscle memory at this point.
One of those soft white underbelly videos was about a girl that worked in they called them spa workers, but it's like the Jack Shacks, you know? And she said one of the most common things, and the guys that paid the most were the guys that just wanted her to pee on them.
Oh.
Wow.
Johnny. How's things, Angle?
And she said they were really predictable and they were really nice and they were really safe. She thought that the piss guys were the cream of the crop in terms of Johns.
Promise to be super unobtrusive.
I don't believe for 1 second you haven't pooped your pants. No. No, I don't have any memory of ever pooping my pants.
Wait, 29 years? You're saying since you were 1 year old?
Yeah.
No, you don't remember when you were 2.
That's no problem.
But I mean, I was potty trained by the time I was like 2.
You don't think at 2 something snuck out? You got the flu or something?
Yeah. I don't have any memory of ever doing that. Now, I did pee my pants a few times when I was a kid. You know, you laugh too hard and, you know, just a little slips out, but even that's been a really long time.
I don't know if I remember pooping my pants as a kid, but I certainly assume that I did.
You've never had really bad food poisoning? No. I always make it to the toilet in time.
I mean, I had really bad food poisoning this last year, but I didn't shit my pants.
I had a sphincter of steel, chat.
I was never more than 8 feet away from the toilet, but still, I managed it.
Deal.
Verity. Urgent.
Shit, Johnny. Didn't notice you had a fucking tail?
Mr. Silver. You're coming.
Is there anything more miserable than, like, vomiting in a toilet at, like, 3 a.m.? And it's like, well, I get to sleep ever again.
I say, just off the top of my head, chemotherapy.
Well, part of the reason chemo is so miserable is because of the vomiting part, but...
Okay, how about watching your loved ones crucified?
Also terrible.
I'm going to put that above that on the list.
Warming up.
You can poop in the toilet or trash can at the same time at 3 a.m. My favorite part of, well, I mean, not really a favorite part, but like, you know, whenever you're throwing up and like, you're doing that, it's like, man, I need to clean back behind my toilet. Some dust bunnies back there. I should have gotten that before I came to this pass.
The true cleanliness test for your bathroom is like that, the part of the toilet under the bowl down there that's hard to get to. If that's perfectly clean, chances are you got a good clean bathroom. Crucified in which way? Well, I think any way would work. We'll go with classic Roman. Elon Musk turns 50 this year. Did you see the girlfriend cut the baby's hair? And of course they wrote like 50 news articles about it.
So I was like, okay, I've been clickbaited. I'm gonna look. It was not that bad. Everyone was freaking out over nothing. It looks like a normal little boy haircut.
She cut like a mohawk into it.
But it's like normal. It was not weird.
It's a baby, so I mean, it's not. You don't look at a baby's hair and be like, look at this freak.
Yeah, it was like, it looked fine.
That went well. Guess you are useful sometimes.
I mean, for 50, he's still pretty young to have accomplished what he did.
Googlebot! Thank you, Googlebot. What's the most horrifying thing that Googlebot has seen lately? It's probably something really dark.
Can you imagine? I mean, if the Googlebot ever became sentient, it would kill us all.
Yeah, it's just like, we need to end this now.
This is the only way.
It's gonna take much longer.
Got trouble in heaps.
There'll be more at the bottom. Bet you thou.
What would you do if your husband forgot to flush the toilet and Rue got in the toilet and drug poop all over your home? I mean, like, what could you do in that situation other than just deal with it?
Rue did vomit all over the stairs earlier this week.
Oh, what do you think caused that?
Well, you know how sometimes she just doesn't understand thirst? She has not done that. Yeah, she hasn't done that in ages. And the other night, she just decided, well, I'm thirsty now. And then she drank like all of her water at once. And then I was upstairs making brownies and I hear, blah, blah, and then she just all the way up and down the stairs.
Are those carpeted stairs?
Yeah, so like that was a fun hour-long activity of scrubbing the stairs.
At least you're moving out.
Yeah. It was not great. And then by the time that I came back to the brownie batter, it was like way too thick and nasty, so I had to throw it out.
That healer could come back. We'll be back.
A double tragedy.
It was a double tragedy. I was very upset.
You should have given her all of the brownie batter to teach her a lesson.
She had to hang out on the porch while we were doing that.
Did you like hose her down?
Well, no, like she didn't get it on her, but like we just didn't want her, you know, tracking through it while we were trying to clean it. So, but we could just see her through the glass door, and she was just sitting out there looking at us, going.
When you say porch, you're talking about like a captive balcony, right?
Yeah, an enclosed balcony. She can't like run anywhere.
What if she just dove off that thing? What would you do?
I worry about that because she's dumb enough that she doesn't understand thirst. I could see her not understanding fall damage either.
isn't she like super into those other dogs? What if they ran out in the yard?
They did run out at one point while we were cleaning the other night, and she like, started her whining and like, trying to sniff through the fence, but she didn't jump, so. Dogs will clean up their own puke. She has done that before. But she hadn't done that, like, a big puke like that in ages. Not since she was, like, probably, say, 8 or 9 months old.
My cats will sometimes go a month or two without doing one of their bad habits, and then all of a sudden it's back.
Well, because it was funny, because me and my husband just had a conversation about it the other day. Because he was like, why don't you just put more water in her bowl? And I was like, listen, when she was a puppy, she'd vomit at the drop of a hat, so I only give her enough water, like, just a little bit at a time, and then I refill it after she's drank all of it. And he's like, well, she hasn't done that in ages, and then we gave her a bunch the other day, and then she, did the thing.
Old Cunningham, net runner from ITS.
What if you got her a mechanical water bowl so that she was drinking out of a stream?
How you want to play this?
I don't know that would help.
It would slow her down.
Yeah, when she was really little, like tiny puppy, like when I first got her, instead of a bowl, she ate out of one of those like feeder mats that you get for dogs, because she would just inhale her food before. And that helped a little bit until one day she ate part of the bowl.
That's impressive.
Yeah, she's she may not be intelligent, but she's tenacious. Determined.
Do you understand, in the first part, why does Keanu Reeves fire his gun into the audience?
I think he was just, being
Send a
edgy.
message.
Is that edgy? I never understood that part. Like, that's just a dick move.
Uh-huh. Why? Want to say a few words?
You're just squatting in front of this guy in the elevator. He's like, "What is happening?"
That's like, dude, you never skip leg day.
Thompson. Know him well?
No, why does it matter?
Don't like the guy?
No, Rue's very interested in other animals' poop. That's not something I don't think about. Because every time we go on a walk, she tries to sniff the bird poop.
A tape of us breaking into our
We also, Rue's had a very exciting week. The other night, I took her out to pee, and it was late.
We don't have much time.
And so it was dark. There was something outside, though, when we walked out. And we both immediately kind of stopped, and it was a possum. And so, I knew what it was, and I was like, Rue, come back. And Rue was like, new friend, and like got really, really excited. The possum will
fuck Rue up.
Yeah, it ran off, so that was good. I think it was more scared of us, but Rue was like, why are we not following it? We should go in the bushes after it.
Give me a sec. I'll get it over.
Let's finish this quick.
Listen, I know Rue's gross button pusher, but she's still my dog. If you're a dog person, you're a dog person.
Yeah, I mean, animals are disgusting in a variety of ways, but you just kind of sign up for that when you get them. I mean, every morning, I clean the little nasty crust out of my cat's eyes.
Why do cats get that, not dogs? Like, Rue almost never has crusties in her eyes.
No, but all the cats we've always had have always had that. Maybe it's like a bad genetic trait that's not getting selected anymore. The weird thing is, Toast is basically just a rag doll, and you can just do whatever you want to him as long as you're scratching him. And Crouton is much more delicate. He doesn't want to be petted hard. But when it comes to cleaning shit out of their eyes and nose, Crouton will let me do whatever the fuck I want, and Toast doesn't like it.
One of my younger cousins, when she was really little, she's the only kid I ever knew who had no problem with, like, you putting a tissue up to her face and just, like, wiping all over her. Never pulled away. She's just like, oh, okay. Oh. I thought that guy was gonna shoot you, but he's your friend. Rue. Hey. Hey. Rue. Hey. She doesn't understand thirst. She's gonna throw up again. Hey, Ruru, come here. Slow down. She's just going harder.
If I don't drink all this, you'll do away with it.
Maybe that's it. Maybe she's afraid.
When she was little, I always gave her a huge bowl of water, and then she'd drink it all and vomit. So that's she brought it on herself.
I got trapped. Oh my god.
Can you not get out? Oh.
Saw someone in a Walmart bathroom eating poop. What would you do? I would remind myself that I don't go to Walmart, and I would leave.
I don't go to Walmart. I must be dreaming.
Kill everyone in the Walmart and then myself. I never understood, like, the thing that you see. Luckily, I never experienced this when I worked retail, but they always talk about how a universal retail experience is like walking into the bathroom or a dressing room and it just being smeared with poop.
Try this.
And
yeah.
I don't understand why that, like, what is the thought process there that leads to someone doing that?
There's definitely people in prison who have severe mental disorders use their poop a lot. So I think it's a common thing to do if you're really fucked up in the head. I don't know why.
Someone has like an episode like that, and then do they come to afterward and then be like, "Oh no"?
Yeah, I think part of doing that is needing somebody else to find it. So that's a convenient, you can get away with it, but you know that somebody has to deal with it. And they might be just out there waiting and watching to see what you'll do.
Get out of my way.
I don't think you're just supposed to.
Hey, you hear me?
Unplug
She was
somebody.
kind of lifeless before, but she's looking real rough here.
Alt, come on, don't do this. Fuck.
Johnny.
The hell are you doing? Are you still rolling?
This is all we can do now, my man. Show people the truth.
Won't change her. She's not.
I treated this woman like shit, now I'm upset she's dead.
Stop that! You have to kill him? We gotta go.
Only I'm allowed to emotionally mistreat her.
It kind of looks like her eyebrows are moving a little.
She's really, just like, hey.
Well, spit it out before you burst.
Some Walmarts are not too bad. It depends on when they were built. I don't think the age of a Walmart is what makes it weird. It's the people.
Really? Any examples?
I don't know. That you were a couple?
I once heard Target described as the place you go to shop to get away from the people at Walmart.
How the hell is she supposed to help us now?
Now that I know that Aldi is a cool place and not a shitty place, I'll think to myself, I should go there, but I never have the tools I need to go there.
Just reusable bags. Are they allowing you to do the reusable bags? Because they're not doing that at some stores. Like, you still have to use theirs.
There's no other option.
That she was a cat.
At Aldi, but for some reason, a lot of other places, they're like, no, you can't use yours right now.
And she told me
Yeah, I'm saying they couldn't stop you because what are you going to do?
So,
yeah.
What did you do?
Got my hands on 2 thermonuclear charges.
I'm still real into Sam's Club.
And headed back to Arasaka.
I like buying in bulk.
I don't use enough stuff. I would end up throwing stuff away.
Well, you buy stuff you can, like, keep in your freezer or is shelf stable, and then you don't have to buy that for months.
You can buy plastic bags. I didn't see that.
Talk to her.
Ka-ching.
7 cents is kind of high for bags, I guess. Maybe not. I mean, you're not going to need more than $1 worth.
So, did it work?
Yes, we extract the necessary fragment of Silverhand's engram. We are ready now to make contact with Alt. First, we must dive deeper.
Boxes? I don't know if the place here has boxes or not. I took a bag the one time I went. But then I didn't leave it in the car. Sometimes I'm not driving the car. Sometimes I'm driving the truck. Now I gotta have another set of bags.
Few have gone through to the other side, and none have yet returned. She will be the first.
I held up my end of ordeal. Your turn.
I like doing our own. We have a big freezer bag, and that is where it's at. Just keep all your cold stuff in one spot, so it's super easy to unpack when you get home.
Don't got much for options, do I?
Ali.
How do I get to the other side?
How do I get to the other side?
It's so trippy.
Level 1 text golf tournament? Who else would be in it?
There'd have to be mini golf.
I've played golf, but it's been so long ago, I would basically be starting from nothing.
Alt.
Johnny.
Stock crap completely destroyed my Twitter feed. Yeah, people are certainly hyped about it.
You cannot remain here.
Alt Cunningham.
Alt. What's going on?
Golf means old men. Last time I played golf, I was a young man, and I remember one of the, like, I won't say creepy, but
Let me handle
it seemed very pathetic to me at the time when the cart girl, the drink girl, would drive around with the drink cart, and you know they hired the hottest young college girls they could find for that, and the old guys like buying beer from her and hitting on her was really cringy.
V, this is Alt. Best net runner Night City's ever seen. Alt, this is V. You need to save his life.
How fast will they push laws to screw the public? I would say next week we'll begin to see that. But they don't really have to. What we've learned this week is that the brokerages can just do what they want.
Just change the rules.
I see this, but why is it my problem?
Krista could take a golfer? You mean like in a fight?
You created Soul Killer. You handed
Maybe.
Krista's not very strong, but I guarantee she would fight dirtier than whoever she was up against when it came down to it. Krista's not walking away from a fight without a lot of biological material under her nails, in her teeth, probably like, you know, in her hair and her face.
You don't start fights, but you do finish them. That was some white trash wisdom my family passed down to me. You're a lady. You never start a fight.
Your death wasn't Johnny's fault.
How could you know?
What would it take?
It would take a lot. Like,
what you saw was the subject.
Is there, let's say that you're at Sam's Club. Is there anything verbal that someone could say to your husband that would cause it?
I don't think so. I mean, I get angry, but like, I would just fume about it myself and then, you know, think of arguments about it in the shower later, but I wouldn't feel compelled to hit someone.
What if a woman attacked him physically and he felt like he couldn't fight back?
Mind unloading this baggage?
It depends.
Wasn't sure what to expect from a meeting.
I feel like there's almost never a reason, like if I'm out in public, where I would feel like I would need to do that. This is my woman privilege. I feel like people look at me, and because I'm so small and frail, like they'd be like, "Why are you hitting that lady?"
No, but this is another lady.
But I think people would still step between.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
not at Walmart, but probably
Especially during a pandemic.
Fine. So how?
If I could gain access
Actually, you know who would step in is some fucking creep who's just trying to put his hands on one of you.
Yeah, probably.
I am a well-known threat there. They have a layer
It would have to be a betrayal.
Kind of like a custom made.
I refuse to be caged in there ever.
Maybe.
What can
Like I said, I get angry about stuff, but like my anger's like a thunderstorm where it comes on really suddenly and then it's gone.
Well, that seems like that would be the most likely to fight.
No, because generally I realize like this is gonna pass pretty quick and then I'll feel terrible if I actually hit someone.
Right.
But how will you reach Mikoshi? I've created armies that failed to breach it.
They were children of the net.
Hitting people is fun.
We'll crack a window.
I only have one memory of ever hitting someone when I was like a kid. I was like in kindergarten and I was at daycare and me and my friend Melissa got in an argument about whether the class pet was a hamster or a gerbil. And it was a gerbil because it had a tail. And Melissa was wrong and she refused to accept it. And she was so smug. And I slapped her, I think, and my mom had to come pick me up early.
I'm picturing a young Krista with a bottle of Yoo-Hoo that she just breaks in half.
It's a glass bottle, it just shattered.
Yeah, is she brandishing the broken half of it? It's just like sort of the opposite cheese counter reaction.
Was Yoo-Hoo not glass when you were a kid?
We didn't drink Yoo-Hoo.
I thought you were a big Yoo-Hoo drinker.
I like Yoo-Hoo, but I got into it as an adult.
Wendell did not find his jacket. And in fact, not only did he not find his jacket, but he hasn't taken off that hoodie you're seeing for days because he's afraid of losing it.
You'll have to watch it eventually.
Where do you put that when you go home? Is there like a specific spot that you put it in so you can remember it, or do you just throw it down wherever?
No, it goes into a specific spot because I'm afraid of losing it because it's the last thing that I have that's warm. I take that back. Actually, I've got the LTT hoodie, so I've rotated that into the LTT hoodie a couple of times as well.
Support your Wendell to get a new jacket. Store.levelx.com.
Think I'd rather give you your due. That'll have.
You'll find it eventually. You'll probably find it like in the middle of summer when you don't need it, and then you'll put it away, and then you'll not remember where it is.
I had
actually was just on my way out.
A screwdriver, like a bit driver set, and I needed it. And I went to where I normally keep it, and it wasn't there. And I looked. I took this fucking house apart because I really needed it. And then I had to go back in that room where I normally keep it, and it was there. So somehow I overlooked it completely. I don't know how that was possible.
I'm gonna recommend a CAT scan. You never know.
So, talking about going to Goodwill. The Goodwills here are not great. The real hot tip for thrifting is you go to the rich neighborhoods and go to their Goodwills. There are not really any super rich neighborhoods in this area though, so you have to go to like the city.
Yeah, there's like a junk store Goodwill type thing that's near where I stay when I go to Kansas City, and it's amazing. It's like architectural salvage on one floor and like furniture that they refurbed on another, and it's like 1970s furniture that's been reupholstered, but it's not overly expensive. So like, you know how you get a nice-ish new couch and it's like $800 or $1,000 or like $1,200 or whatever. It'll be about that much used, and you think, oh, this is really crazy for a used couch. But you sit in it and it's like, this is the most sturdy feeling couch that I've ever sat in, and there's just nothing like that around here.
There's one in the city that's near the coffee shop.
Yeah.
That one's not bad.
It's too expensive though. That same couch at that place would be like $2,500.
Yeah, they are very pricey.
And that's the part that kills me, because the one in Kansas City is like, I can get antique lighting that they've pulled out of a building and rewired it with modern wiring to make it safe. and like chandeliers and stuff, and it's like $100. And around here at that place, it would be like $1,000 for the same thing.
Yeah, it turns out furniture is expensive. We've been looking at dining tables, and it's like, oh. That will be an item that we will likely save up for, so we don't have to buy another one. We can die with that dining table. Did you find a house with land? We did. It is getting inspected Monday. And it can't come fast enough. Also, but I don't want to, like, wish my weekend away, but I kind of wish it was Monday so I could get excited. How much land? 4 acres.
Don't start a GoFundMe. I can get a jacket. I already ordered the jacket. It's just that it was a weirdly, like, it was one of those Amazon things, and you know, I got my size, but when it came in, it was short. Like it didn't cover my belly button, and so it's like, what strange Amazon thing is this?
So, ready?
Third trimester cramping is not likely.
I ordered some rubbing alcohol from Amazon because I forgot to buy some. And it was a 2-pack. And they never sent me a tracking number. They're just like, yep, it's shipped. And so I've been waiting on it, and I kind of forgot about it. And I went out on the front porch today to sweep off the pine needles, and they're in a grocery bag, not even tied, just open, with a shipping label on it, full of water, because it's been there for a couple of days, I guess, was my rubbing alcohol.
What?
Yeah, it was just in a loose grocery bag, not even tied, not closed in any way.
Let's get out of here.
That is,
Got no idea where I'm going.
that's pretty weird.
Legend. That's all I wanted. Feels like I'm barely surviving.
They're really just not putting in the effort anymore.
Value, death, facing.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are land prices like in KY? Certainly more reasonable than the rest of the country, but the issue is finding places that have internet.
He says he's in, oh no, and West Virginia. Yeah, they're about the same. The drugs are bad, but you can mostly avoid the drugs if you're not, you know, like trying to be part of the social scene.
Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can go have sex with Pan Am yet.
Was it an indie seller? Yeah, the seller's name was something like "We Buy for You USA" or something ridiculous like that. So I don't know what it was about. In before my residual medical bills and likely unemployment. What do you got going on, WWE? That you're you got medical bills.
100 bits, thank you.
Are you sure it's real rubbing alcohol? That's a good point.
No, I haven't opened it. I don't even know. I'm not sure if it's sealed.
Remember hearing a guy talk about how awesome satellite internet was going to be?
Well, he wasn't wrong. It was just the Elon Musk's version of satellite internet.
It existed back then, but it, you know, it was the shitty kind.
Garbage, yeah.
Alright, so that's over there is where I saw an explosion. Look at that building. Look how interesting that building is. It's like a derelict hotel.
You can totally walk over there.
Okay.
Yeah, go check it out. You splattered some.
There's some blood on the ground there.
I was in a tiny mountain town in West Virginia for work, and the entire time was either hipsters or drug addicts. I don't see a lot of hipsters. It's either like normal, like pretty decent people, or it's drug addicts. And usually the decent people are usually older people who are like currently raising a family. And they're like, well, I just moved back here to be close to family. I don't know a lot of people who move there for like jobs or anything, because there's not very many.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Is there a way inside that wall from another angle?
I don't know.
Surely there's a way to get in there. I mean, it's clearly he doesn't want you in there that way. Thus the concertina wire.
I feel like there's a weird, it's like, what's going on over here?
Yeah, there's a way in there for sure. Maybe it's a story thing.
I hear Montana's pretty awesome still. It is beautiful over there. I don't know if I could deal with the winters there, but I'd love to go visit.
Yeah, all that flat land, the temperatures just get brutal.
Yeah. They get a lot of snow and stuff too. And they probably have the same issue we have where it's like you just don't get internet.
Surgery, huh? Never had surgery. I'm really trying to hold that off as long as I possibly can.
Wait, where did he say? What kind of surgery did he say?
I don't know if he said.
What was that?
I hope you feel better. Or I guess after the surgery, I hope that you feel better.
I thought he said he already did.
Wait, did he already? Where are you seeing his message? I don't see that.
It was further up. He said he went under the knife.
Anesthesia was 5 times the surgeon cost. That sounds right.
So,
because they can pick anesthesiologists who are outside of your network. So even if you're like, okay, the surgery is not going to cost me an arm and a leg, if they get a consult from literally anybody else, you have to pay for that.
My advice to you to offset some of those costs is save your pain pills and sell them.
So a friend of ours recently got some of his teeth taken out, and they now give you a bag with your medication. That's like, here's how you dispose of your pain pills at the end. And I was like,
what's special about that bag?
It does something to dissolve them, and then like you can just throw it away in the trash, and it makes it so it's like safe.
No, okay.
I was like, that was not a thing when I had my wisdom teeth taken out.
What percentage of the population do you think actually does that?
What actually puts them in the thing?
Yeah.
I didn't use mine much after I had my wisdom teeth. Like, I think I might have taken one right after the surgery, but after that, like, I just used Tylenol, and then we threw the rest out.
No, I didn't either, but I didn't fucking throw them out. Those got me through 2 kidney stones. Why would you throw that away?
Because I live in Eastern. I lived at home at the time. We lived in Eastern Kentucky, and you got relatives coming around.
We'll put it in a different container.
My mom kept all of her like medications and stuff in her bedroom, so like most of my family's fine. There was just a couple bad apples for a little bit, who are now better, but that was always like a concern. So like she kept it in her bedroom. So like if anyone went in there, it was like immediate like alarm bell. Like, what are you doing in there? You guys got pain pills for wisdom teeth removal? Yeah, I didn't really see why. At least I had a pretty good experience. Like I didn't really have any pain at all.
But did they just have to pull yours?
I think so. They put me under, so I felt fine.
Some people they can pull, and some people have to get cut out.
I don't remember.
They've invisible walled all this stuff.
How old was I? I was still on my mom's insurance. I think I was like 20, 21. Glad I had that done while I was still on her insurance.
All of this is just invisible wall.
Yeah, I had all 4 of mine.
I bet this is a story thing. Like it unlocks at some point, you do something here, but they won't let you in there otherwise.
I don't know. Chat. Was it ever part of the story? Because it wasn't part of the story in the other playthrough.
Chat saying they didn't finish this area.
Can't go into this area at all. You think this is just something they didn't finish?
I bet it is.
Because clearly some work went into it. Is it supposed to be like kind of a wasteland? Is that why there's nothing here?
Yeah, that's
It's sort of disappointing. You can hack your way in, but it's not, or like hack, I guess, using dev tools, but there's nothing inside.
What?
Maybe it's going to be DLC. So I was reading about RimWorld, and it's interesting. It's just literally everybody playing all at once. But you can't like separate out. So I own some of the people, and you own some of the people, or I have buildings and you have buildings, or we even like branch off and have our own colonies. And if you do branch off and have your own colonies, then you run into the issue of time, because then the game speed could be different. So you're pretty much stuck to one colony with everybody in control. I think it can still work.
It would make managing resources a little harder. Same thing as like with Parkitect, but
yeah, but you definitely just like to sit around and make the base.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would conflict there. And then when the raids come, it's super useful to have extra people.
I wasn't real good at like the building UI in that game, but I'm willing to give it a second try.
WED has irresponsibly gifted a sub. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's high. He's on those pills, on those goofballs, throwing away his money.
Wild.
Is it goofballs or whippets? I don't know what that is. I heard that once.
Whippets are nitrous oxide off of a compressed bottle of whipped cream.
Alright, is there anything cool here that I can buy that I don't already have? I don't think so. Let's see. We'll see if I can make a bunch of shotguns real quick.
You need to take advantage of Galinda missing from the leaderboards. Is Galinda not here tonight? What the fuck?
WED has gifted more subs. Thank you. Well, I can sell that for 700, and that's not really just a very low component cost, I think. Wow, 700? Really? Wow. Could turn that into 7,000. Let's see if there's anything else I can sell for more money. 427 for that's not bad.
Do you have any Dogecoin? I don't.
Has no coins, because when I heard about Bitcoin several years ago, I was like, that sounds not real.
Oh, I had so many Bitcoins over the years. So stupid.
It's foolish.
If you think about it, if you had foresight for Bitcoin, when did Bitcoin start?
2009.
So I remember you guys talking about it, like.
So, yeah, I would have definitely had enough capital to the rate at which Bitcoin doubled in those early days. You could support your lifestyle while still building up quite a nice little cache of coins. And when you made it to, what was it like? When was the first spike? 2016? 2017? Or was it even before then? That's your big payoff. Then you let it sink back down. You buy in again. You triple your fortune by 2019, 2020. And then you buy an island and start flying young girls out to it.
Ugh.
Maybe that was Epstein's secret.
Yeah, the Iron Key guy. Is there any update on him? Is he hanging from a rafter right now?
I gotta find somebody to buy components from. I need components.
Can you not break things down into components?
Yeah, but I mean...
Just find one of those crime things. It's a never-ending source of the bounty hunts. They just go kill people and break down their guns. At that point, you got to leave the U.S. Well, just pay your fucking taxes. You're gonna have a ton of money.
There were just there were just two duplicate kids there.
Could be twins.
There's a lot of duplicate models everywhere. I feel like over here.
How would you like to be GameStop while Big Brother crashes your stock price? I don't know if it'll affect the company that much. I mean, they'll have access to lending if they want it, probably based on that. I do think that when all this ends, that stock is going to be worse off than when it started.
That seems likely, yeah.
Because the wave of selling at the end is going to be pretty fucking epic. You talk about weak hands.
Doppelgangers, I guess it's time to start selling babies. The Grollet gangers.
You know, I haven't touched AI Dungeon in a long time. I bet I'm maxed out on credits.
No.
I could be chatting with a cat girl right now. I think I probably... You guys want to do that on stream again ever? I might let my subscription lapse after February. I think it already renewed this month.
I wouldn't care to try it again, but I mean, if we're going to be starting a RimWorld playthrough, I doubt that we'll get through it in a month, so...
Yeah, that's a good point.
They really just need to bolt on that narrator thing on RimWorld.
Gotta take a piss or something?
Yeah. I'm sure that... but, I mean, you could never do that because it wouldn't run on normal hardware.
Trying to explain the stories that you craft, like, we were an elf who wanted to be a candy crafter who stole Willy Wonka's face and killed a bunch of the Oompa Loompas with a candy cane. It sounds like a fever dream when you say it out loud.
But my favorite thing about it is if you told somebody that you came up with part of that story and the AI came up with part of that story, they would assume that you came up with all the points the AI came up with.
Yeah.
Because it's just, why would an AI come up with something that's fucked up?
Don't go showing off with your fucking assault bangers or no rocket pukers.
Did you all see the game Neko Arena? I don't think I've seen that one, no.
A real nice one. It's fucking nice, I'm telling you. Anyway, enough words. Getting worked up. Ready? 3, 2. Hey, the hell's that?
Copy and paste the stories and sell them on Amazon. There's a guy who just writes extremely off the wall, overly sexual, violent, fucked up stuff like that. And he has a huge success on Amazon. I can't remember his name, but he's just famous for like these really insane fucked up books.
Chill. I'm going.
Neko, oh, this is some kind of weeb game.
All right. 3.
Yeah, this doesn't look that interesting or numbers. I'm sorry. Oh, look, she has a tail.
Well, of course she does.
She's a cat girl. Very positive reviews.
This may be a niche audience responding to a niche product.
Join our Nico girls in an epic arena fight on their secret cute island in the middle of the ocean. Why would a bunch of girls in bikinis in the middle of the ocean want to shoot each other? What has caused this conflict? Couldn't they just have a beach volleyball tournament?
To settle the differences.
15 seconds. Looking good, B. Don't fuck it up. Nothing like the smell of powder and hot. Stop! Everyone stop! We're done.
Look at the weird rendering glitch.
Some people were saying like that there was a weird frame rate occasionally, and I have noticed that. It's not happening right now.
Yeah.
But
got a
earlier,
little bit of it.
walking behind an NPC, I did notice it.
Rest of you bush league punks, learn to shoot. Out of my sight.
Chuck, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Palanwick, I guess, is how you pronounce that. But yes, he's one of my favorite authors.
Thanks, Wilson. Sure is pretty.
But he's nothing compared to this other dude. I can't remember what the guy's name is.
Look at this guy just casually pointing his gun.
If you want savage fucking violence in your book, but it's not like, it's not about that, but there's just so much of it and it's over the top. Cormac McCarthy.
Hey, you okay? Something wrong?
Ain't a damn thing that's right. Contest didn't do shit. Didn't sell a goddamn thing. Nothing.
Should try not calling potential buyers Bush League.
Fuck!
Oh, it's so peaceful not having to hear any noises upstairs because the cats are in lockdown.
They're not in the trash can. Eagerly seeking out extra food.
Heard Silver's the next thing, but I don't. What do I know? I am so excited for that. I can't believe in it because I can't let myself hope like that.
I feel like that gets thrown around in prepper circles like every few months, and then it never really fully materializes. But
Right, because they have their foot on it in a really big way. That's one of the most manipulated markets. Of course, obviously they all are, and we all know that now. There's really no secret to that, but really, really, you see, the thing about the precious metals are you can't fake them. Either they exist or they don't. I mean, you can counterfeit them, but it's very difficult. So they're, if enough people got involved there and just took the deliveries, there's no way they could deliver it. It would absolutely not work.
copper and gold have functional uses. What does silver do? It repels vampires, duh.
Silver's used in like solar and it's got some other uses
Silver
as well.
Force, Rimworld.
Weapons. A lot of weapons.
But it's not about what the use of it is. It's about how much of it there is and how difficult it is to get. Silver used to be used in x-rays. You film too. Camera film. But no one uses that anymore, do they? But yeah, you watch how fast they shut that down. I remember when Silver was having their big bull market, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange did the same kind of shit. They kept raising the margins every day till they shut it down.
I like that in the future, sunken living rooms come back in style.
I always like that.
Yeah, I always kind of like that too.
I love in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. They have that Vegas hotel room, and by the end, they fucked it so bad that the sunken seating area is underwater.
Oh. I love Trading Spaces. That was a good show. It's funny to rewatch that now and see how dated a lot of the trends are, but it was like the height of cool rooms back then. Ooh, dog, you trying to get a snack? Ooh, dog, what are you doing? Hey. She's trying to sniff my husband's plate. And now she got caught and she looks sad.
I love that animals never get to the point where they understand that they don't need to be concerned about food. Like the food is always going to be available to them.
Yeah. I will do everything I can to put food in your bowl.
And it doesn't matter how often the food shows up on time. The one time that it doesn't, that is a huge crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, my last dog, she got fed between 5 and 5:30 every day when we got home. When my mom got home from work or when I got home from my work. And there were a couple times where, like, we would get home a little later, like 6 o'clock. And we would come in and be like, oh, Quincy, we're coming in with your food. And she would turn her head away. Like, don't even look at me. She was very dramatic.
Little Toast is like that with attention. Because he'll, like, in the morning, he'll be meow, meow, meow. And he's like, every time I go toward the bed, because that's his massage spot as he lays on the bed. And we go and round until he finally gets his way. But then Crouton walks in the room and he just leaves. He'll give it all up because he can't stand Crouton to be in the room.
Justin with a bunch of numbers just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, this is a soda machine, but it's pretty.
What?
FAQs. There's a link to my recommendation, and it's for another soda machine.
Oh. All right. Did you know that Pepsi owns them?
The Soda Stream or these people?
Soda Stream.
That doesn't surprise me. You can buy like different brands of soda to go in the Soda Stream. I just want it for fizzy water, static water, but
I say Little Toast because he's childlike. He's a simple cat.
Innocent.
Not innocent. Mischievous, but very needy and loving.
Is it weird that I can't call my car? It seems weird.
Is your car just tumbling through the abyss somewhere?
Sometimes you just got to reload your game.
What's happening over there?
Hi, Moo Dog. You come up, say hello. So Street's great for making carbonated cocktails. There's a few kitchen items that we've been discussing getting. The Soda Stream is one, and the other one is a Berkey water filter. If anyone has one, reviews welcome in chat for the Berkey.
So these people are clearly dressed for summer.
That's what, like, what is the temperature in this world?
Sorry.
I mean, there's a desert. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Is the demon taking over?
Do you have a good Dutch oven? We have two. We got a duplicate on the wedding list, so we're good.
That'll be good for like later on in the relationship when you decide to violently throw one on the ground and break dinner all over the place and be like, fine, go see your whore.
What do you mean we can't buy any more raised beds? I need more seedlings.
I could have had a tiny house if not for you.
Have you ever used your Dutch oven on open fire while camping? No, I usually have like a very light little pot that I take for backpacking.
So you had some big plans for winter camping, and that seems to have been thrown by the wayside.
It has been. I went, I guess that was 2 weeks ago. I went on a Sunday and did 7 miles in the snow, which was fun, but it was not an overnight trip.
I seem to have died and not died.
What was the temperature that day?
Oh, it was in the 30s because it was snowing the whole time we were out.
Are you not taking any damage at this point?
No.
Dutch ovens are heavy, which is why I don't take one. I'll send you guys what pot I take when I go backpacking. Not that kind.
Why?
NYC to get 8 inches on Monday. We got like 4 inches the other night, which is a non-trivial amount of snow for this area.
What if we get a devastating blizzard at the same time the economy collapses?
I'm not prepped for that.
And then that's when Donald Trump triggers the QAnon final solution.
The writers are really putting all of their work into this final finale. 3 ounces, yeah. This one's really light, and like if you're just out by yourself, like that's more than enough for heating up enough water for like a cup of ramen or potatoes or something.
Dang it, it said I got a shard that's going to give me some skills, but...
Yeah, I had that same issue, like trying to find the shard that they want you to read. I'm sure there's some way that they designate it, but I couldn't figure it out. It's a little overkill on the shards. I understand that some people like that. Have you seen that YouTube channel where the only content they have is someone dramatically reading everything from Skyrim?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that, but it was actually good. It's like the one like it was the Lusty Aragonian Maid or something.
That's the best book in the whole game. I think there's multiple volumes of that, if I remember right.
Well, she was a busy girl.
You could always find it like on shipyards, which was funny. This menu is super broken. A lot of stuff disappears all the time.
I'm clicking on every one of these, and they all look pretty ordinary. Sometimes you get like the hacking thing, or it just like does some stuff. This is not doing anything. None of these are. A lot of bugs in this stream tonight.
I swear, certainly. I think it's worse now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
See, like this still says there's 11 unread. There's not. Sometimes they're in backpack too. Like you just go to backpack and it's like, oh yeah, you can do this thing, and then it's like, okay. Like you go to all items. There's something in here you can read or do whatever.
It's kind of impressive that they've taken a step back.
See, that says readable, but I clicked on it and nothing happens. Data shard, readable, found on a corpse.
What year was No Man's Sky?
It's like 17, I think, 18.
So do you think another 3 years before the next big video game hype disappointment rolls out?
I feel like not even that.
It'll be Cyberpunk 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I'm really excited for Sons of the Forest. It's like the only game I really care about that's supposed to come out this year, but it's not really being hyped very much. They've released like one trailer for it.
Is there any big exciting video game release on the horizon at this point?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm excited about that one, but I don't think most people are.
I like that game. That was a good game.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm excited to see where they go with the second one. There's so many games coming out in the next year and a half. Well, I don't know what they are. Post them in the chat.
'21. What do we have? A bunch of bullshit. Stuff I don't care about. What's Terratopia? Is that Terraria? Nah, it couldn't be.
I'm still dead.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really that exciting here. Sword of the Necromancer. Why do people give games such generic titles still?
Yeah. I was about to say this one like Blue Fire.
January does not look that exciting.
I'm looking at like March now.
Wait, Control? Isn't that game that came out like last year?
Oh, there's a new Monster Hunter coming out in March.
Oh. That game was so bad.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it at all. I can see, I guess, why some people might, but I was not into it. Our editor really likes it.
Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection? Oh, that's a Switch game.
Hey V, a truck hauling cyberware crashed in the Badlands. It's top grade chrome.
Oh, another Harvest Moon game. That's probably gonna be trash though, right?
Is that them just trying to cash in on like the nostalgia from that was brought up by what's it called? Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I would imagine. But I think they put out a lot of those after the first one that were just really bad.
Loop, Back for Blood.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. Are they remaking the remake? Or are we actually going to get that 12 frames per second game that came out back in the 80s? Was that the 80s? Yeah, that was probably the 80s. You know, it's weird, not a single movie game, because there's no movies.
Yeah. Only movie I was really interested in seeing this year was Dune, and it's been pushed back, I think, indefinitely.
I like the James Bond movies.
But that was also pushed back.
But it's another one that you should be looking forward to. Have you seen the Daniel Craig James Bond movies?
Yeah, I'm not super into James Bond.
I can see how he might not be a character that appeals to women necessarily.
Which one did I see? I might have seen, I think there's one that's really bad, and I think that might have been the one I saw. Is it Casino Royale that everyone's like, oh, that's like the worst one? Because I think that's the one I saw.
That's the worst one, you say?
That's what I've heard online. I don't know if that's true.
Is that, I can't remember which one that is.
I just found it kind of like forgettable when I watched it.
They're not, you know, like the story's not going to blow your mind, but they usually give you a little bit of a twist and they give you some decent action. And it's fun to think of a guy who is completely cool in the face of whatever. Craig is ugly. You know, I think he probably does okay with the ladies. Are you hiding from something, Wendell?
That thing down there.
Yeah, it's shooting at him.
Oh, is that one of those implant monsters?
Yep.
What is that? Have you thought about picking up Doom 64 since it's on Steam? You know, I haven't. They put Doom Eternal on the Xbox subscription, but I don't know. I'm not motivated to play that one at all. What's my game right now? Well, my game right now is always Cataclysm. I've been playing that Dyson Sphere game. That's not bad. I mean, it's Factorio.
Would you say Cataclysm is like your Overwatch, where it's just a dependable game that you can just enjoy?
I can reliably... Here's the thing about Cataclysm that no other game has for me. I can let it cool down for a month and then come back to it and just burn an entire day if I want to.
Yeah.
But a lot of that has to do with the development. I mean, it's so constantly updated. And there's still something satisfying about that, you know, the looting and the surviving.
Chat saying use an EMP nade.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
They've got some interesting new mechanics in it, like exhaustion and blood loss. You can go into shock from blood loss.
Chat's also saying you aren't taking damage.
Nope.
It seems maybe a little bug.
Well, why don't you just whip out a knife and go down there and get dirty?
He's afraid the bug will wear off.
Where do you think he's keeping all those grenades?
In his leather pants.
One interesting new game is Kerbal Space Program 2. They were mentioning Kerbal Space Program 2 in a lot of those GameStop memes on 4chan. I didn't understand the connection there. Prison Wallet. Oh, I watched a really good movie, chat. Shot Caller. That's a really good movie. Although, I never really thought about this before, but don't you think that Hollywood really kind of takes the edge off of drunk driving? Because every time they need, like, he's a good man, but he's in prison, it's always an accidental murder from drunk driving. And then they always make that character sympathetic.
Yeah, it does kind of make you think, like,
Oh, this person's a murderer. Kind of like, what's her name? Jenner. It's like, oh, she's such a wonderful, proud transgender woman. It's like, yeah, but what about that person that died?
Didn't what's his name? I can see his face. Ferris Bueller, the actor who plays him. I forget his name. Broderick, I think. Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he killed someone with his car.
A lot of people in Hollywood have killed people with cars.
Do you think this thing's down there thinking, why isn't he dead yet? If you weren't invincible, that guy would one-shot you.
Why do you keep healing yourself?
Sometimes I get the red lines like I'm broken.
You're not broken. You're perfect the way you are.
This is the most awkward battle I've ever seen. Yeah, can you not use your hacks on him?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Wasn't my idea.
Yeah, the chat.
I guess I should also equip a non-lethal weapon since you're not supposed to kill them.
You're supposed to aim at the head, you're aiming at an area that does no damage.
Yeah, but you're supposed to kill him. Or not kill him though, right?
That seems pretty effective. I'm looking forward to a nice, long, slow weekend. Aren't you, Krista?
I mean, yes.
It's going to be real cold. Just bundle up, sip some tea, maybe a little hot cocoa. Just appreciate every second.
Stare at the ceiling. Oh my god.
Maybe have some hot cocoa.
That does sound good. I don't know what it is this week. I have read so many stories about tuna fish. And now I'm like, man, I should have a tuna sandwich, but I haven't made one yet.
It's not like they're hard to make. What other story did you read other than the Subway one?
What did I see? Oh, it was a comedy video where someone was talking about like the whole thing where, you know, you start a diet in New Year's and then how quickly you fall off the wagon. And he was going on and on about how terrible tuna packets are. And I was like, why are you hating on tuna packets? Those are delicious.
Not great unless you put a little something with them.
Really? I love tuna.
Well, are you just going straight tuna or are you getting those like flavored mixes?
No, I usually just do regular tuna with some mayonnaise.
You do water or oil?
I don't know, whatever the packets come with.
I think those are usually water.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're hardcore.
I like tuna. It's good.
It's got that mercury.
I know. And so you can't eat it a whole lot. Hiking season, though, that's like the perfect food because it's super light and it's delicious and it's got protein.
You know, they do chicken in those same packages now.
Yeah, my friend tried one on a trip we went on, and she was like, we were sitting there eating lunch, and she was just kind of slowly eating it, and I was like, is it good? And she was like, nah. Apparently it wasn't awesome. She got like a barbecue chicken packet.
It's one of these.
I have a friend who refuses to eat tuna since it's cat food. That's some of the most expensive food in the world.
Low key, if I do ever get pregnant, like, how terrible is it going to be? Because I won't be able to eat sushi. I won't be able to eat tuna. Won't be able to drink.
I haven't had... Oh, I think I messed up. That's fine.
I think you can bail out at any time before it's officially over and start again, unless they've changed that. Yeah, Christy, your life is going to get terrible in a variety of ways if and when you get pregnant. And that's nothing compared to what will happen afterwards.
Krista, can you name your child Ryan regardless of gender, just out of spite?
I've met girls named Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that is actually kind of a unisex name. I kind of think of it as more of a dude name, but...
I think I've met 2 girls named Ryan, and I thought it was weird, but I guess it's not.
Fish is gross. I love fish. Hard to get good fish here since we're landlocked, but I do like it.
I know some guys named Heather. No, that's new to me.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Jane from Firefly.
Is that like the boy named Sue? I like how the vast majority of this stream, you've been doing nothing that the game ever wanted you to do. You've really just been like trying to jump places you're not allowed to.
But it's an open world game. I should be allowed to just run through the desert.
How pissed would you be if your name was Heather? I don't know. Some people seem to sort of embrace it. I'm just glad my parents didn't use any weird letters in my name.
I love it when people call you Brian in the comments.
Oh, that is... I would say after I introduce myself to people, more than 50% of the time, I become Brian.
I become Kristen, Crystal, Christina.
Oh yeah, I guess that's your name is also similar like that.
Some other names, yeah.
Here, the thing about it is though, like I rarely correct people because most of the time they don't mean enough to me for like, okay, let's just get through this interaction and we'll never need to use each other's names again. So doesn't matter.
I had a client misspell your name this week, Wendell.
Yeah.
It was a new spelling too.
How fucked up is it that the YouTube comments get it wrong constantly, and it's in the description.
They can't bother being literate. It's fine. I get it.
But I've not.
I can forgive the YouTube commenters because you're just writing a comment on YouTube, and you might not see the full description. It's weirder when it's a business email.
But I don't. Are there a lot of alternate spellings to that? Because I think I've only seen the one.
Yeah, I've only ever seen it the way Wendell's is spelled.
I mean, maybe you could drop an L.
Wandel. Yeah, I've seen the Wendell with the LE. A Wendell is some sort of object in an alternate universe. Like the LE version.
Windex.
What up?
Did you ever get to a point in this game where you felt like money was no object?
No. Never did. Even on the other playthrough.
It's truly dystopian, just like real life.
Do you have neighbors with an outside wood furnace? No, I don't think so. I don't really inspect my neighbor's property that closely.
You're missing out. When I used to live in my old neighborhood, I didn't like do it purposefully, but when I was taking walks around, if someone had their window open or their door, I would look in their living room to see how they arranged their furniture to make sure I wasn't missing out on an optimal furniture arrangement.
Wait, where was this?
At my old neighborhood.
Before you got married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'd just be walking and I'd be like, oh, that's a cute way to put the couch. Good TV placement.
What if somebody noticed that and then one day you're walking by and there was a nude man waiting there?
Ugh.
Would you stop after that?
I mean, like, if someone was in there, like, I wasn't like, let me walk right up to the window or anything, but like just passing by.
No. This is a guy who has observed you doing this and has positioned himself to surprise you, knowing that you would look in.
Oh. I would probably be creeped out by that.
First, he rearranged his living room to lure you.
To learn, knowing that I would be interested in the optimal furniture configuration.
Exactly, yes.
How did they deal with the crappy old windows in these apartments? They too have put up giant curtains so that way they can close them in the winter. Looking forward, assuming everything goes well with the inspection, I'm looking forward to having windows that aren't a gazillion years old.
What about, are you planning any fixes for this house, or is this...
This one's pretty much ready. Like, assuming the inspection goes well, I don't think there's anything we'll need to change right away. We do need to buy some appliances, but that's not a big deal. Like, we need a washer and dryer. Do any of you have parasocial relationships? Does being a YouTuber affect that? I think since starting YouTube, you become more mindful of that, of like, I don't really know anybody that I watch. on these shows, which is something you always know, but I think you become more aware of that.
Wait, you don't say that again?
So, like when you watch someone, like there are certain people I really enjoy watching, and I've watched them for a long time. Like Sips from the Yogscast, an example. But like after doing YouTube stuff, I'm like, oh, he's just like a normal dude. And obviously he doesn't know me and I don't really know him. And I was always aware of that on some level, but I'm more aware of it now.
You know what is one of my favorite things is there's a class of person who absolutely cannot make that distinction. And sometimes they will call in to like a radio show or something and they will actually make contact with the person that they just assume is going to be their best friend, and it goes really badly. I love that.
Oh. See, like if Sips hopped in this Discord right now, I wouldn't know how to act because I was like, oh, I don't want to be weird and like assume we're going to be best friends, but I also don't want to be like too quiet and not talk and then him think I don't like him, and so then it would just be awkward both ways.
It's cheese cutter.
Yeah, there's no way to win.
At the events that I've been to, where it's like, oh yeah, there's a person, it's a thing, it's happening, total cheese cutter.
There's a lot of like realization for me. There was a point in my life where I was like, you know what? A lot of the people who, if somebody said, hey, who would you like to spend a day with out of history? And I realized that a lot of those people wouldn't want to spend time with me, and I probably wouldn't want to spend time with them.
Yeah.
Like Hunter S. Thompson, I think is an amazing human being. His writing is just fucking incredible. But if you read about how he spent his days, it sounds like an absolute nightmare. If you were a guest in his house, you would hate it.
Think about it, because my answer for that would obviously be Tolkien, but like I feel there's so much like gap between our times and like the world he was raised in versus the world that I've been raised in. I don't know that.
What if there was misogyny?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't that break your heart?
It would be weird. I do think as he got older, like he started to rewrite a lot of his stories to allow a lot more of the women to take a bigger role. So I think he was changing as he got older, but I wonder what he would think about the world as it is now.
You know what I think they should do? I think this would be a huge, because we have a famine of movies right now, right? I would say re-release the entire trilogy, but reshoot, and this would be super easy because it's all CG, right? Reshoot the scene with Sauron, the final scene with Sauron, and instead of that girl, it's the girl from it's ma'am.
What?
Thank you,
because Sauron couldn't be killed by a man.
Oh, that's not Sauron. That's the Witch King of Angmar.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
The Ringwraith.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it works. It's ma'am.
I had a friend who never saw that movie and like never read the books, and so he recently watched it and he assumed that was like woke pandering, and I was like, no, that's how it's written in the book. When that book was published, it was like in the 50s. He was ahead of his time.
Thank you, Synapse Death.
Oh, did I miss something?
Synapse Death gave us a sub.
Oh wow, yeah, that's like.
Oh yeah, I did miss that.
Thank you.
Woo!
Hang out with George Washington. I think you would be surprised that all those founding father guys were really just like looking to get rich. That's probably what they'd want to talk about.
I would want to. It's like, let's hang out with Albert Einstein, but it's like, okay, Albert Einstein, I brought you back from the dead, and here's all the stuff that we discovered since you died. Nobody can figure out anything really jumping out at you. It's like, we haven't got a unified field theory yet. Do you see anything here? Is anything kind of jumping out?
But then you're ignoring the fact that Albert Einstein would be like, dude, there's an afterlife. I was there. Like,
why did you take
your problems would no longer be an issue to him. He would have much bigger shit going on.
Maybe as a condition of coming back, you don't remember anything about that.
Hang out with Albert Hoffman. Is that the LSD guy? Yeah, reanimated Einstein would be a fucking trip.
Again, though, that one's far enough in the past that, like, he was born in such a dramatically different world than we did. Like, would we even find a lot to relate about?
He'd probably look at the Capitol riots and just, like, not say anything, but just quietly crawl back into his coffin. It's like, I'm out.
I'm done here.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, no, that was like a full week ago. Now we're all on to this. A week ago? What do you mean? And then we tell him like everything that's happened in the last year, and he's like, "That you're talking about decades of things happening." No, it was only a year.
Yeah, I don't think you could. Their mindsets would be totally unacceptable in the modern day.
Not even like that kind of thing, like the woke stuff. I'm just thinking like they went to sleep. They died in a world where everything was still very slow.
But some parts of the world are still like that.
Showing them something like social media and like the pace that we live our lives at, like I feel, we're not dealing with it well, but imagine having no context for that.
The one of the things that the Ecuador YouTube people constantly talk about, they're like, listen, if you're going to come here, one thing that you absolutely have to get used to, and there is no exception, your life will be shit if you do not, is when you call somebody and you're like, hey, I need you to come and fix something, or I need you to deliver something, and they'll be like, yeah, maybe I'll be there tomorrow. That actually means several weeks from now, possibly. And you can't get upset about it. That's just how they live here.
I've heard that in certain countries. It seems to be warm weather countries. Like I've heard South America, a lot of their thing is that way too, where you say, oh, we're gonna meet up for dinner at 6, but everyone knows that really means like 7.
Or even not even that day. And if you're like, hey, where the fuck were you? That's considered really impolite.
That's bringing out some like cheese counter anxiety in me, because I'm thinking like, I don't know those kind of unwritten rules. And someone saying something like that, I'd just be confused.
But our society has those same rules, it's just,
yeah.
Just have to learn it.
Now my family does kind of do that, but like for family events, we sort of expect that, but like other events, we don't.
That guy's got some Geordie LaForge glasses.
He won't let me in.
He sees your true inner demons through his glasses.
That's how people just say we meet at 6, and that means sometime that night.
I don't know. I'm sure that overall life is probably better when you're not living on this kind of schedule, but goddamn, it's convenient.
I don't know. I go back and forth. Cheese counter anxiety. It is accurate. Have you also had a weird encounter when you've gone up to get cheese at the supermarket and you didn't expect to have to interact with anybody, and then there was a guy there and you freaked out?
You should.
I like not having set times. Yeah.
You know what you should do to desensitize yourself to that is just to give him like the most outlandish response. Put him on the defensive. So you should go there and be like, can I help you find something? And you should be like, are these made from milk? I don't understand. What exactly is this?
Dairy? Is there a dairy-free cheese here?
What sort of animal was involved in this?
I'm actually, like I said, if we get this house, I'm actually kind of excited because we're going to be closer to the nicer grocery store. So it'll be more convenient to go there. Though that is where the cheese counter is, so.
But that's not the nicer grocery store. It's just the better stocked one.
It's better stocked and they have more variety. They've always had more variety.
But the aisles are closer together and it's not as clean.
The parking lot is a nightmare there, but...
And the park, I was just there today. The parking lot has like a 1/4 inch of salt on it at all times.
Listen, they can't afford someone tripping and falling.
I can't afford to run my car through a car wash every time I go and pick up some drumsticks.
Things I can loot.
You think this is going to be the encryption standard that our government comes up with?
Yep. Probably worse than this, actually.
This will be too complicated for the government workers, so they'll just use Sudoku instead.
Wow.
How far is the nearest fast food from your house? That's a good question. I would say for me now, it's probably... Well, are we counting like gas station food, or does it have to be a fast food chain with a drive-through?
It's a good clarification question. For me, the answer is the same because I live pretty close to town.
Because I could get, like gas station pizza and hot sandwiches. Very close. But I don't know if that counts as fast food. Are you trapped in this place? Or is that you need to get back there for the mission?
I'm supposed to get back there for the mission, but... Alright.
Oh.
Well, that's one way.
So I need to get back here for a mission, and he just stands there staring at you.
How did you get in here with that giant cane or whatever the fuck it is? Is that electrified in some manner?
Yep.
Oh. Something bad happened here.
Walking out of... Fuck.
Well, these guys are really not very effective combatants. Imagine if you had the bionic that slows down time like that, and it got stuck.
I would be very frustrated.
I just want to use my air fryer.
You're brushing your teeth.
It's just like
20 minutes. Taking a dump.
Talking Casey's, or what is Casey's or 7-Eleven?
Yeah, I don't know what Casey's is. Are we talking about the gas station near me? I don't think it's branded like that. Just, down home. It's a BP gas station. They sell pizza and sandwiches and shit. Convenience store. Well, this is just a. We don't really have like chain convenience stores here. We just have gas stations where they bolt that on.
Yeah, and it's always like just some guy or a grandma making food.
I miss the
They
gas
sell
station
fudge
barbecue.
and ammo.
So it can be good, yeah. Although it's usually weird because you'll go in and there's like one person working. And it's like, okay, are you the sandwich maker? Who's gonna pay for the gas or take the money for the gas while you're making the sandwich?
Yeah, and that's some real cheese counter stuff too. Where you have to like, you ever I'd be like, oh, I need to get gas, and I'm like, oh, I make sandwiches, and it's like, oh, sorry, who do I talk to?
I think Hunt Brother might be the pizza they serve there. I've definitely seen that sign.
That's around here, yeah. I don't know if that's a national chain or if that's like just.
It's definitely a chain. It's
Yeah.
not like unique to anything around here.
How badass would it be if like you're in a club like this and like all the gang goons are shooting at you? And you've just got a really nice club. And you're just beating everybody to death with the club. That's like they didn't file a police report because they got their ass handed to them by some guy with a club.
I suppose that if I gained something from that, it would be cool. But just murdering people for the sake of it, I don't know if I would be into that.
Well, no, the club, that's the non-lethal thing, so it's just, nobody died.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sure they're not suffering any injuries.
Yeah, just ignore the blood all over the floor. When was the last time you had a pizza buffet for lunch?
There was, I don't go to the buffet, but there's a place in town here that I got some takeout pizza from. And you remember when the pandemic was like very temporarily over and they opened everything back up? They immediately reopened their buffet.
Who was that?
Giovanni's.
Oh. I don't really do pizza buffets. Like, even pre-pandemic, that was not really a thing. I do like regular buffets, okay.
I remember the first time Pizza Hut brought the buffet and people were like, are you fucking kidding me? We can have all the pizza that we want at Pizza Hut? That was back when Pizza Hut wasn't garbage.
Oh yeah, and you get to go play the arcade machine.
Yeah.
That was
the
they had those big red cups.
I used to love the smell of a Pizza Hut because it smelled kind of like Italian seasoning and garlic, and then that bread. They had the best smell in the store. I don't know if it's still like that.
I don't know that anyone goes into a Pizza Hut to eat anymore, and that's kind of a bummer.
They've kind of fallen off the quality scale to such a degree.
Look how scared they are of you as you carry this body through the street.
Everybody's doing the Slav squat.
Are their heels up in the air? I didn't pay attention.
I still have a 0 health, so.
Why are you so obsessed with hiding all these bodies? Are you working towards something here? Or... Oh,
I think that was his quest, I think.
Oh, that was what you were supposed to be doing. Okay, yeah. I see. Can't overcome the guilt after eating Pizza Hut. The taste is not worth the calories. I think Pizza Hut's cheese sticks are still okay, but they're just a ghost of what they once were. They used to be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just me having rose-colored glasses from being a child and eating Pizza Hut, or if something has changed.
Costco might be the #1 pizza place in the USA. Are they allowed to sell the hot pizza, though, during the pandemic?
We've done takeout pizza a couple times.
I want to save, but I'm still in combat, and it won't let me save.
What do you guys think about the multiple mask thing? That seems a little silly to me.
It does a bit, yeah. Just one N95 mask should do it.
Well,
I think the issue is a lot of people weren't wearing N95s. And they're afraid.
I wear a cloth. Do you guys wear N95 all the time? I wear a cloth mask.
I usually do surgical. If I know I'm going to be inside for a long time at a place, like with a lot of people, I will do an N95. But that's very few and far between. Usually I just do the surgical.
Kind of at that point where I'm assuming that whether or not I get COVID is basically luck at this point. I mean, I'll do the minimums, but I don't know that I believe it's going to protect me that much.
Guy hacks the signal, cuts off the other programs. Oh yeah,
I'm just avoiding going out as much as possible. Which thankfully, like with our jobs and stuff, is pretty easy, but not everyone has that luxury. Just throw your pimp cane at this guy. Snipe him.
Give my wife the level 1 mask. You think the kids realize what that's about? Well, I say kids. You say she teaches. I assume it's young kids, but I guess it could be college. Two masks is common sense. How is that common sense?
I think
no one's
that's what
talked about it.
Doing the entire time.
The entire fucking year, nobody talked about 2 masks. Now all of a sudden it's 2 masks. Come on.
Woo, I can save.
Oh, there's another guy hiding here.
What was he doing? Inventory?
Why
would he be back there?
You gotta look for something to distract them, but body identified. Enemies have been alerted. I just put it in the thing. Oh my.
They saw through the walls and knew.
There was a guy sleeping in there.
Some guy was like, "Man, they're not gonna catch me working," and then
Just gonna catch a quick nap.
Gotta try to find this car.
Surrender.
What is the multiple mask thing? Yeah, they're now saying that you should wear more than 1 mask.
It's because we have more contagion variants. And the cloth ones were never like super effective. Like they work, they're better than nothing, but they're not as effective as something that has more layers.
Dang it.
Ooh.
Think you stand a chance? Huh?
Oh yeah, the car's over there.
You get extra rewards if you don't get detected on this one.
Surrender.
Locating suspect. You are instructed to reveal yourself.
Open fire!
Aww. Oh wait, I needed to quick load, didn't I? I didn't load the right one, or did I?
I think we're in kind of the weirdest time right now with COVID because there was sort of the despair time, but you understood it. Everything was just bad. And then there was the hope time, and now that's gone. And now we're just in this weird spot. Things are kind of back to normal, but they're not really. And there's no indication of when they will be.
I think people are just mentally done, so they're just opening, and it's like, well, whatever if the hospitals get overwhelmed.
If this keeps up, I think people are going to start acting out in weird ways. Like they're just going to start like buying weird securities all day long.
Yeah, people are going to start, pandemic gardening and.
Toilet paper again. I've worked through most of my toilet paper stockpile, but I have so many wet wipes at this point. Far too many.
Neutralize him.
You're never gonna make it through here.
Do you have to be undetected here?
Yeah. They said there was a better prize if you could do that.
You played Black Mesa? Is that the multiplayer one? Yeah, we played that. And the VODs are probably lost in the sands of time. Was that a YouTube endeavor?
I think so.
Was that the game we got sick on?
Yeah, remember the big tentacle monster in the ground?
Oh, that was the first one. That was I mean it was Half-Life, but it was Sven Co-op was what we played.
Oh, so that's not Black Mesa. Okay, yeah, maybe we haven't played that.
We played Half-Life 2, and it was a co-op mod, but it wasn't as smooth as Sven Co-op. And I remember me and Wendell both got really, really sick. And I thought it was because I was drinking too much yogurt drink. La. And then Wendell was like, no, I'm sitting under my desk because I feel like I'm going to throw up. And it was because of the field of view.
Should do Age of Empires. We did Age of Empires one time.
I really wanted to like Monster Hunter because it was so hyped. That was probably the last hype thing that really got me. Monster Hunter.
I just can't believe how bad it was.
Yeah, I was
And
not pleased with that game.
somehow other people really like it, and I feel like I can understand why people like certain games, even if I don't. I can't understand that at all. There was nothing the least bit enjoyable about that experience.
Oh, that is relevant to my interests. Is there anywhere I can buy a dwarf pawpaw?
Are you shopping for items for the new house already? You have to stop
No.
this, Krista.
No, I'm just window shopping.
It's unhealthy what you're doing.
It is unhealthy, but I can't stop myself. Monster Hunter had a cult following, but was awful. Yeah, I wanted to like it so much, and I was so upset. See you, Corn That Lefty. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. Let's see if that counted as not detected.
Isn't the red thing mean... Do they have to actually start shooting at you, or is it enough for them to just notice you?
I don't know.
This was my fantasy mindset. I was like, are those blue mushrooms in the sewer? No, it's trash bags.
Come on, exit combat. Hey, make me some noodles.
Can you put your weapon away? Will that trigger it to stop?
See, it's like there's just all these. It's like those look so good. I want one.
Yeah.
But there's no one here.
It's a trap.
Such an empty city. It's like a nightmare.
WWE is gifted another sub.
Thanks. Gig shut. This was supposed to be hush hush.
Interesting
No
username.
drawing attention. But all right, the bug's planted. That's the most important thing.
Aww.
Now just pray they don't find it. Gig shut and closed.
73 times lifespan of COVID has passed. Well, you know, I mean, like, there's different instances of it. I don't think it's like a universal entity that dies after a certain amount of time. Oh, chat, we're getting cicadas this year. You guys hyped for the cicadas?
God, they're so noisy.
I don't remember, was it 04? I don't remember the 04 cicadas very well.
I
remember that. I remember 87. Chrissy, you weren't alive.
I wasn't alive in 87.
87 cicadas were hardcore up in the mountains.
The reason I remember the last big cicada comeuppance was because I went to my cousin's house and we were playing on their like tire swing, and I went to like push off the tree, and when I touched the tree, it was just all cicada shells. So disgusting. It was traumatic.
I do remember one of the things in '04 they were showing highlights of like how the animals were adapting to the cicadas, and they have this great footage of this raccoon, and he was lying on his back and his belly was just completely distended, and he was two fisting cicadas, in one in each hand.
The basilisk. It's ready. Would you like to drive it?
I wonder, what do cicadas eat?
Sure. Be there soon.
My garden might suffer this year. My first garden at the house.
Don't know what. They eat the greenery, right?
Do they?
Because can't they strip a ton of greenery?
What do cicadas eat? Diet, facts, and information. Click. They will consume any part of a plant that is above ground.
Yeah, there you go. Because they can really damage an ecosystem. Although they put so much nutrients back into the soil, it's overall good for it, I think.
It says cicadas usually do not feed heavily on plant leaves. Adults usually feed on young twigs and woody shrubs.
They don't live that long, do they?
I don't think so. Cicada nymphs do not feed on plant leaves or stems. Instead, they feed on plant roots, but they usually do not cause notable damage to a plant.
Well, what a bunch of nice guys.
Yeah, it sounds like they're actually fine. The article I'm reading makes sure to be like, these are not like locusts, which will eat literally anything. These things just eat small batches of like non-important parts of plants.
The plants are like, go ahead, have another portion. And they're like, oh, I couldn't have another. Maybe just one more nibble on your roots.
Some of that crop. That's what the cicada says.
You've been waiting for 17 years. Go ahead, have a little leaf.
They're just loud and annoying. Yeah, I do remember them being very loud. I wonder, so you know how like everyone's really concerned about, we're not seeing as many bugs as we used to. Do you think the cicadas will be affected? Will it be as loud this year?
I wasn't aware that we were seeing less bugs.
Yeah, we are. I mean, bees are a major concern, but like lots of other bugs are too.
Is there an explanation for why that might be?
Because of pesticides and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So not great. And I was thinking about it, like even things like fireflies. They're talking about they're not seeing the same numbers that we did even like 10 years ago. I was like, I guess that is kind of true.
Wendell, you better be careful here.
I was looking for the option in the menus to like turn it off, and it was just like, there's nothing in the menu. I guess this is a good place to end the chat. So, we'll see you next time, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, what a tease, chat.
Things are about to get steamy in here because I guess I'm not supposed to. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I mean, the bulletin from Twitch said it was okay if it was just normal part of the gameplay.
Just let it roll. We're allowed to get 3 strikes, right? We've never even had one.
Hold on to your head.
I see your character model when you change doesn't show anything. It's funny that doesn't apply to the character models in game.
It's got the copyrighted music thing, which I turned off, but I looked for another option and I didn't see it.
I seem to remember that the first time I played it, but then when I went back the next time, I didn't see it. I wonder if they took it out because it's okay now.
Dandy, give me a moment.
Everybody be cool. Don't make it the focus of the stream.
Everybody please focus on these fake breasts that are about to be shown. Please pause the stream when you see a nipple.
And then start tagging Twitch mods.
More cicada talk.
What do you think?
Now I know why people call them coffins.
Chrissy, you should get some of those like picture frames that aren't really picture frames but are actually just deep and you can put stuff in them. I don't know what they're called. And you should
shadow box.
You should preserve some cicadas for your new home.
Ooh, that would kind of be cool. A friend of mine is a major, I can't remember what it's called, wildlife management, I think. And she took me out to like the farm at her university because she had to do like it was a hike thing, but she also had to collect bugs for the class. And there's this thing, there's a tool, I don't know what it's called, that she has to use to get like little bugs so that way you don't have to like just run after them with your hands. And it's a bug sucker upper. It's literally just like a tube with a glass jar in the middle of it, and then one side you suck on and one side you put where the bug is.
They you can buy those for your house.
A bug sucker. That's not what it's called, but I might have to message her and ask her if she can tell me what it is.
They also make this device that I don't know if I've always been skeptical of these. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. But have you heard of like mosquitoes come to a certain frequency? That whole thing.
Yeah.
So it displays that frequency somehow, and there's just a fan down there, and when the mosquitoes fly to the frequency, the fan is strong enough to suck them up against the screen, and then there's enough pressure to keep them there until they dehydrate and die.
Oh.
It's the most brutal mosquito killer in the world, and you never even know about it.
So someone asked, what if you suck too hard on your bug straw? This thing has like a flap that will prevent it. It'll keep it in the jar and it won't get sucked up. Like there's a grate. So it won't get sucked up further into your mouth.
Soft ride. Seems a boat.
She'll fly right over any. Now take her along the line of turbines. When I say so, swerve right or left before the last of them.
All right.
This one looks like a gun. It doesn't look like the one that she has.
Very good. Keep her going.
It's some kind of like scientific instrument thing that she gets from her university, but I don't know what it's called.
Right. Excellent. Now let's do some shooting. Stop and I'll activate the system.
It's gonna bother me. I don't think she's online, or I'd message her.
Call her up. Call her on speaker.
What's the name of the bug sucker?
Good time? All right. Blast those bricks.
Tank is pretty dope.
Better than dirt now.
Floating tank would be cool.
Okay. Practice is over.
Here we go, chat. We're going out on a bang.
Do you remember what I said about impulses?
Now you could take this conversation the other way, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think you could.
Just pretend you don't understand what she's saying.
Hijacked in. Our nervous systems are now linked.
I like that you're wearing like a floppy-eared hat, and she's like, "Yeah, that does it for me."
I think it sounds like somebody outside is shooting at us, though.
Doubled.
It's sensory feedback.
That just enhances
Our
it.
systems are intertwined. Would you like to try it out?
But the thing that confused me about this part is supposedly this is so amazing because you're experiencing not just what you're experiencing, but what the other person is experiencing through the link. But then that would be the opposite.
It's probably not always this.
Yeah, that seems like that would be bad too. If one of you took a bullet, that would be super distracting.
Well, not even that, but like, okay, maybe it's sexually gratifying, but my experience of being penetrated for the first time, I feel like that would be unsettling.
Oh, they took off the thing. Okay.
Ignore.
I'm just gonna
ignore
switch
sexy. Look.
Oh yeah, it's fine. There's still audio. It's just my audio. It's not the game audio. Things are happening.
Are you aware that you're going to need to take some kind of figure out what kind of pests are on this magical garden you're going to grow?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I've already been looking up bat boxes. I've been looking up owl boxes. I don't really want snakes, but I suspect we'll probably have some, but I'm prepared.
There was, we had a professor in college, and he talked about bat boxes like they were the greatest thing that you could ever have in your life.
I'm kind of into the idea of them.
But you've got the history with bats already.
I know, and I'm like, do I really want to invite them to come back? What if that baby bat? So I'm pretty sure that was a baby bat that got in my house the last time, because it was June, it was summertime, and that's like when baby bats are confused and like just starting to fly by themselves. And I think he just got confused when he came in my house. What if he comes back and he's like, "Oh, it's you! I flew into your house when I was a baby," and I'm like, "Oh, little bat, why are you in my house again? I need you to leave."
I'm not gonna bring up the average lifespan of those bats to ruin that fantasy. I'm just gonna let you go ahead.
I don't know what kind of bat it was, but
It'd be funny if I got out of the tank and I was just buck naked and I was like, oh.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Oh, wait a minute. I am buck naked. What's going on?
I was gonna say, I thought in the next cutscene in my game, I was still like, wearing the underwear, which is weird because she got dressed.
Yeah, I didn't have time. I was not ready for that, and I was still recovering.
Chat. On average, bats live between 10 and 20 years.
Wow.
So he might still be alive.
He could be. What's sexual maturity?
When bats reach 5 or 6 weeks old, they begin to hunt for insects on their own. I don't know when they are sexually mature. He could have his own baby bats now.
Wouldn't that be something? And they could just move into your attic. And then you would start to smell that wonderful smell.
The smell of being able to grow amazing crops, because she could recycle
in your attic.
Poop. Well, you take the poop from the attic and you grow stuff with it.
Yeah, you go up there with your spackle knife and you scrape it up every day.
Be sure to wear that N95 mask.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm cool with like a bat box though. I'd probably put it away from the house, but
how many cicadas can a bat eat? Bats are real small under all the loose skin. I bet they can't eat a whole lot of cicadas. They could probably put down like 3 or 4, maybe.
I will prepare our route.
They're all sitting around eating the cicadas like a buffet, and it's like, oh, you should eat some more, and it's like, oh, I can't.
I couldn't. Maybe one more.
Thank you. Thanks.
You know what? Just a wing. Just give me a wing.
Do you think so? There's probably a bat that was a baby bat 17 years ago, the last time the cicadas come out, and he's like, man, I've never eaten that well, and I probably never will again. But he's like old and gray now, and this summer, he's gonna be really excited.
I thought you said 10 years.
It said 10 to 20, depending on the speed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, the cicadas come back around and he gets that smell. And he's like, oh, God, I've been thinking about this flavor. But his teeth are too old and he can't get through their thick exoskeletons. So he has to get some of the younger bats to chew it for him.
No, I'm serious. We all owe you. So you can count on the Elder Calders. Always.
Good to know.
I like that these NPCs have the problem that every NPC has, where they don't walk the right speed, but they also don't really run.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Red Dead Redemption did a pretty good job with that because you could just hold down the button and you would match their speed, especially on horses.
Drink.
Beer me.
Choose, please.
You know that episode of House? Yeah, there is an episode of House where someone gets bit by a bat.
Batman's mask doesn't cover his mouth.
Happy endings.
I wonder, are the comic books
Gonna miss our little escapades.
existing in a universe where there's COVID?
Me too. On the other hand, though,
It's a
who
good
said
question,
this one was our
chat.
last?
Anybody read Batman comics?
Look around. Look at them. They could be your family.
They've made that new Batman. I don't think it's been released because it was supposed to be in theaters. The one with vampire guy.
I'd love to.
And it's supposed to be super gritty and dark. and raw and unsanitized. And everyone's like, I don't think anyone wants raw, unsanitized Bat right now.
I would love raw, unsanitized Batman, but he cannot be Batman.
All right, V.
I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, this looks...
Yeah, and it's like some emo bullshit. It's going to be
Yeah.
terrible.
Forget about it.
Remember that? That's a two-parter, Navlita. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. That's Fowleri is the disease, though. Oh, it's gonna bother me. I have to look that up. I think that was end of season 2.
Can superheroes get illnesses? Well, Batman's just regular. He can get whatever.
Euphoria, part 1 and 2. That was season 2.
Everything is okay. How do you feel?
What happened?
Favorite episode? Well, not my favorite, but probably one of my favorites.
Oh, V.
V, you have to tell me what is happening.
Oh, I started watching that. I was telling Wendell this earlier. I started watching that Vicious show. That's really good. Highly recommend that.
Pan
Okay.
You know,
But they really, I think maybe they just have a better handle on things over there in terms of humor. But I feel like people would get really upset if they made that today in America.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it so amazing. It's like Blazing Saddles in that way.
Because I mean, the way that he is constantly, you know, or both of them are constantly, you know, like trying to get the young straight man.
Talking to someone.
I could tell my therapist a lot of things, but this isn't.
You are not joking.
Just trying to live with it.
It's certainly not.
I gotta go. I'm feeling better, really.
Are you still naked from the tank?
I will go with you.
I thought I heard.
The game is not glitched. It's fine.
Hey, Mitch.
Finally.
This guy walks up to you and he's like, wait, did you just do her?
She's over there.
In the tank? I have to drive that tank later.
Ready, are you?
Is everything okay?
I thought that was condensation on the seat.
Ugh.
Thanks, Mitch.
You're barely.
Remember, if you need help.
And that.
I think you're stuck. You need to, like, because I don't think that glitch is supposed to be happening right now.
It's fine. Okay, we're good. I'll save here. Maybe we'll stream this again. I don't know. It's all good. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Multiplayer RimWorld on Sunday. How exciting.
Woo.
We got to think up chat. Keep
No
in mind.
mods.
We can't do mods because the multiplayer.
That's
we
what he
need names of pawns and the name of the village and the faction.
Oh yeah,
Be
be
ready.
thinking about that
Be
because we
ready
won't.
for suggestions.
Good night, everybody.